Hey, man.
Friday Freestyle, or is it
Yeah.
Freestyle Friday? I don't know what it is, but it's
Friday
all
Free.
good.
I think it's Friday Freestyle. Yeah.
Friday Freestyle, yeah. Okay, so this is the show on Comics Cast where anything goes. We're never scripted anyway, but in this particular case, we're operating late. It is 10 p.m. on the East Coast. I know it's 7 there on the
7:10 over
West
here.
Coast
Yeah.
where where you're at, and we're just following up on this. Hopefully, this will be kind of a tradition for anybody that's our fans or whatever. If you're watching, we would encourage you to join us. Come geek out with us. It is going to be, like I said, a tradition where we hopefully do this every Friday, but it is kind of one of those little iffy things because it is the holidays. So can't guarantee you it'll be every Friday through this year, but we're going to make sure that we try and do it as faithfully Friday in 2022.
Oh, there's another name.
So
That's another name right there.
yeah, exactly. So I want to welcome, I don't know how many people are watching. Hit us up in the chat if you want to join us. If you want to come in, we'll send you a link. And I want to welcome Vic Medina, who's the latest crew member here to Comic Cast. We're gonna properly introduce him with, he was a guest
I got
on
my shirt
our
on too.
past. Oh yes, look at that. He's more official than me. I don't even have a shirt. But he's gonna be manning his own show with Rick in 2022. They got a lot of I think they got some They got some rough cuts already.
Yeah. We're editing them right now, so hopefully we'll be able to show a little sneak peek soon, and then
yes.
next year start airing them. It's pre-recorded,
Right,
so hopefully maybe
so
there'll be a blooper reel.
Yeah, we'll have to see that. But let's go ahead and see who's in the chat room. We got here. We got Roy. Roy, I'm going to send you a link because I want you to join in there. Let's see. We got Sean Mendoza. Sean, oh, you're going to join us. I'm going to put some links out there. I'm going to send you guys some links.
Yeah.
And then Rick is awake. I was like, Rick, why aren't you in here with us?
It's way past his bedtime. He needs that beauty sleep.
Yeah, I know. He needs, he definitely wants to keep up with his beauty sleep. So I saw some of that playful banter between the two of you earlier. But let me get Roy in here and Sean Mendoza. So while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get your art cam up there, Vic, and you can go ahead and start sketch jamming right there. So let me get you in there. And I just love this. This is the, anybody remembers in the, was it the late 90s? It was the Arthur Adams Fantastic Four, which was Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, Hulk, and Wolverine. So we're going to get to see.
I think they were called the New Fantastic Four.
The New Fantastic Four, yeah. Time. So Vic is going to be really showing his fabulous inks here with the fabulous Fantastic Four. And let me get some other guys in here. So you go ahead and start talking a little bit about this while I get some links to people. Okay.
Yeah, I just needed something to be able to draw tonight. Working on a book, I was like, oh, you know what? I probably can't show those pages yet. So, let me get something going that I could draw tonight. And
ultra top secret stuff, right?
Yeah, of course. Well, there'll be more about that next year. I'm working on a few things right now, and hopefully early next year I'll be sharing a lot more.
Oh, look at this! We got the Joker himself.
Oh, what?
Hello.
Oh, wow! What are you doing up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, love that background.
Thank you. Yeah, I made it myself. I took your art and put it as a background.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's already stealing your artwork there, Vic. Telling him.
Oh no, he could have that one. No, I'll let Rick have that one.
All right. So Rick, you go ahead and chat up a little bit. It is freestyle. I'm gonna get Sean Mendoza.
Yeah, well, I'm tired. I'm tired. I just wanted to come in and say hi. So, hey guys, I see a lot of people here. Hello, Victor.
Yeah, just start being.
How you going? Yeah, you're looking good.
Oh, thank you. I'm taking, I said, I'm taking your beauty tips, Rick.
Well, you're doing it wrong because you're looking better. You're looking way better than you're supposed to.
All right. I put the link to StreamYard in the comments field.
Get ready to get
So-
spammed. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. So we got, look at that. We got
Well,
Sean Mendoza in the house.
What's up,
It's
man?
been a while. It's been
Yeah,
a
it
while.
has been. Where
Hello,
you
hello.
been, man? You've been working on your thesis, you know, at the Kubert school there. You've been like busy with schoolwork.
Yeah, I'm getting prepped up for a table tomorrow. So
Oh,
Nice.
I thought I'd
Which-
join while I got the time. being.
okay. So you got some artwork that you're gonna like show at the table that you can show us tonight.
I mean, I'm working on a couple sketches. I have prints made, but they're downstairs. But I can show. I got it on my phone, so I can probably show it up to you. Show it to you guys.
Okay. All right. Here we got some more people adding in here. Frankie. Hey.
Yeah,
Hey!
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, no, much. I'm sorry for, like, exiting quietly the last time. Literally. like-
Oh, we were wondering. We go, man. Was it something
no,
that
like,
we
for
said?
some reason, my StreamYard on my phone kept going off every 5 minutes. And it was, like, picking and choosing every single word. So I was barely understanding the words. And they kept kicking me out every 5 minutes.
Oh no.
I don't know if it was
Hopefully-
me or if it
Hopefully
was
it's fixed
just
now.
the route. I don't know what it was, but I felt so bad for it afterwards.
Well, look at this. Look who else is in the chat area. We got Brian Silverback's there, man. Why don't you join us? Put the link in there. You can tell us about Kara Prime. Tell us about what's new with you. I haven't talked to Brian in a spell, so Brian, join us. But yeah, it's good to see some familiar faces here. I guess Frankie, if you want
Yeah,
to.
Sean.
Oh, yeah, you're getting
I
your art
haven't
screen
seen.
ready.
I have.
I have art for you.
That's awesome.
I haven't seen Sean Mendoza like while I've been around. I saw him before I joined you guys on Comics Cast, and now I haven't seen him while I've been. So it's been at least a year, Sean, since you last been around, man.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I
Well,
was starting to feeling maybe it was me, but here you are. So it was
You're just like-
I got busy. with
You know,
family stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Was it like
you know,
that old
Sean,
phrase back in high school? It's not you,
Uh-huh.
it's me.
it's me. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Sean, you know that Rick has probably been checking out your TikTok videos and maybe seeing your dance moves because I know that Sean's a great dancer.
No.
It's funny that you actually mentioned TikTok because I actually had one back in the day,
Uh-huh.
and I basically saved some of the footage before I got a new phone.
So are you gonna share some of that
I'm
TikTok
pretty
video?
scared to, but you know what? I might.
No.
No, don't.
Do you have it on your iPad?
I have it on my iPad.
He's going for it.
Okay.
He's going
Here
for
we
It's
it.
go.
bad, but
Frankie,
you know
Frankie,
what?
you do know we are live. We can't edit this out.
I do.
We can't edit this out.
Oh, here we
All right,
go.
all right. So this was the drawing I based it off of, right?
We
No, I want to see it. Let's
All
go ahead
right,
and play
it's
it.
me with
Okay.
Mamoru Uchiha. What do you get?
Woo! Oh yeah, that's
Wow.
cool.
Hey.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got more.
I do. I have like a lot.
No, this isn't going to be Freestyle Friday anymore. It's just going to be TikTok Friday.
Yeah, TikTok. No, that's our Tuesday show, Sean. TikTok Tuesday.
I
Exactly.
literally. No, this has to be my favorite because look at my dead expression.
Hi, Molly. Welcome to the stream.
Oh man, you should be an
You know
actor.
what? I since we're showing off here, I'll just show like maybe one dance video.
Oh,
Okay, let me.
yeah, we are
all
One
finally
dance,
see.
it's
We're
one
getting
dance
our
video.
I almost
Sean
want to
is
see the
alright.
dance video now.
One
All
dance
right,
video. One dance video.
Sean.
Okay.
All right, Sean, I'm soloing you.
All right. You ready?
He's solo. Oh no, I'm scared.
All right. You ready? Hold on.
Oh man, Sean got the
I'm
moves,
looking
man.
I'm looking for a good one. Okay.
Wait, a good one? What's not a good one?
All of you,
Everything
all
I've
of you.
ever done in my life.
Everything
What is
Sean
it?
does is good. What are you talking about?
They're all good.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
All right, he's got the move.
Oh.
Look at that.
Look at those moves.
Ah, I can kick into it.
When are you gonna go on tour?
I legitly don't know what to say to this. I'll be honest.
I'm jelly. I'm so
Okay,
jelly.
that's enough of that.
He's just
So,
like
yeah,
he's
so-
like, no, I'm done.
So Sean is going to be in Magic Mike 3
No,
coming next year.
no, Rick, no.
Why Magic Mike specifically?
Because
Well,
that's
I
where
thought it's
that's
favorite
where
movie.
good-looking
thought
men
Joe
comes and
Baldwin was
dance,
playing us.
Frankie.
I mean, you're not
it's
wrong,
gonna-
but at the same time, there's a lot of other dances that you could actually try and get into.
Well, that's just one.
I know,
I've
I
seen
know.
some of Sean's moves. There's a lot of ones that you filmed in your basement that were really really cool, man. I was
In
like,
your basement.
You,
yes.
Brian, you're looking at Rick Medina's art right now.
Yes, it's awesome.
Rick
Yeah.
Medina.
And
So,
Brian, come on, man, join us. Yeah. Get in
I
here.
have a very fun story to tell you guys, by the way.
All right.
So literally
Spill it.
maybe 2 days after the live stream, like how that, how I told you my phone was acting up or something like that,
Mhm.
it
Yeah, that
died.
was like 2 minutes ago.
It died.
It like I woke up at 5 a.m. and it just wouldn't turn on. So
Oh,
I
that
was
was your-
hoping that I could take it to the Apple store and they could just, replace the battery and call it a night.
Uh-huh.
No.
Of course not. Of course not.
No, the whole
I
new
can't
phone.
look. I had high hopes. All right, so
Mm.
I had to buy a new phone outright.
You did that for
$700.
comics?
I had to buy an
That's
iPhone
awesome.
12.
You have to buy an iPhone 12.
I hate.
We're not paying for that phone, by the way, Frankie. So you know, you did that on your own terms. You should have. That's not.
That's not out of your paycheck. I don't.
Okay, good,
Listen,
good.
Frankie. If your phone starts to disrupt again, we will just say we never knew you. We don't know this.
You're just
Yeah,
like,
Frankie-
nah, we
Frankie who?
never knew him. All right, he's not coming here.
It won't be Frankie Bloom. It would be Frankie Whom. Badum.
I hate that works.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah. He's been saving that one up. Rick called me up and he said, is Frankie gonna be on here? Because I got this line that I want to
Yeah.
use, and
Yeah.
gotta wait for that perfect opportunity, and he delivered. So
Okay,
yeah.
all right. So here's a joke for you then. So
He's
have
got
you-
jokes. Okay.
Oh, I got jokes upon jokes. They're dad jokes, but they're jokes.
Please,
Okay.
please, no dad jokes, please. God,
So,
no.
have you ever heard of the place called Toledo? Is it Toledo or Toledo?
I thought you were gonna say, have you heard of that place called Toilet?
Yeah,
You're talking
I've been to that place once or twice today.
Because I literally,
At least, daily.
I said
Rick,
Toledo the
do
one day,
something.
and they
Rick,
just
do
asked me if
something,
I'm
man.
at the capital of toilets, and I'm like, what? Now, keep in mind, my geography is terrible. It's like I literally thought California and Nevada were kind of the same thing.
What? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no. Like I said, my geography sucks. Okay.
I mean,
Okay, no comment. I'm not gonna say
No comment
anything.
on that one.
if you take Jimmy Kimmel's show into account, not many Americans know good geography at all.
All right.
Oh, man.
Okay, we got the guy from Denmark cutting us on us Americans. So
No,
guys
that's
got-
Jimmy Kimmel. That's Jimmy Kimmel. He's American. He's
Uh,
cutting on you Americans.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I would never
Jimmy Kimmel,
cut. I
now
would
he's
never
funny.
cut. I would never cut on you Americans. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That literally just sounded like, no, none of you Americans are funny. Watches Jimmy Kimmel for the first time. Now he funny.
Only when he makes fun of his fellow Americans, he's funny.
Mhm. Yeah.
I feel like Rick would be the kind of person to just like look up Jimmy Kimmel for like the first time, and then he would be like, "Is this what all Americans are like?" And then
Like the generic American is Jimmy Kimmel.
Whatever. Hey, and I don't know if
I'm
you
American.
saw that.
What do you mean? I'm not Jimmy Kimmel.
Hey, Rick, did you see that message from Brian? He says, I need Rick's page. I don't know if he means I got to see Rick's like Facebook page or Rick's artwork page. So I don't know what that means. Brian, you want to clarify? So
He's like, no
all
comment.
right. No, yeah, it's silent. It's silent.
The
All right,
silence
we got,
speaks for all.
I got Victor. Victor, come on, join us. I heard from Roy. Roy is gonna join a little later on, but we got.
I thought Joe was joining.
Yeah, I literally just got a message from Joe. That's how I joined.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Joe.
Well, not how I joined, but
day.
like I was confused because he's like, "Join on. I'll be on in like 10 minutes." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Joe said that to you?
I think it's on Indy's Comic Cast, so I'm not sure if that was you or him.
Oh, okay. Because Joe is won't be joining us tonight. He had a long work day today, so unless he told. Yeah, that might have been just the general. Let's see. We got
was
Joe.
that the general thing? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Joe Tolliver. No, he didn't.
That must have been out of my misunderstanding there. I'm sorry.
Joe Tolliver. I remember when Joe started this whole comics casting, and then I'm sorry, like forgive me for my bad impression, but this is I remember Joe was showing me and Joel on this like thing that we were doing, and Joe showed us his first video, and it was like, "Hello, I'm Joe Tolliver, and this is comics cast." When we connect one.
Yo, that is nothing, man. Literally, when I did my first, how I met him the first time. He was doing a I'm sorry?
Joe, if you see this, don't kill me, please.
He's like, don't kill me.
Roy! You got Roy in the house. How you doing, Roy?
What's up?
Yeah,
Hey.
we got
Oh shit! Damn it!
Roy, I was gonna say, I don't know if the story was still going. I just wanted to say hello to Roy. But if you want to keep telling that story, Sean, about how you had this great impression of Joe, go ahead and tell us. You can actually tell us your great impression of Rick if you want to as well, or your first impression. So Sean, you're on the spotlight.
Me? Why?
Can I be in the spotlight? Because I was
Who's doing the impression? Hold on.
Oh, you're gonna do an impression? All right, I'm gonna solo you because you're gonna do an impression.
No.
Okay. All right. Do your impression of Joe Tolliver.
Did you do the impression of Joe?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. Wait. Okay. Pretend this is a leather jacket. Pretend I'm really buff and I have like hair. Okay, so
that is a nice leather jacket, though. Can we just take a minute to actually say that's a nice jacket?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Joe Tolliver, and this is Comic Arts. Where we take one to the next and do it together. And this is Indy's Comics Cast.
Why does that work so well?
I thought I was talking to Joe. It was so realistic. That was just.
I know. Wait. Hang on. If we're doing impressions here, let me try.
All right. Wait. Before you get it, let me get another guest in here. We got Brian Silverbacks in the house. So here, Brian. How you doing, man?
I'm working.
All right.
I'm working.
Let's let Frankie do his impression. I don't know.
All right, let me try it. Let me just do this here.
All right, here we go.
All right, Sue. Hi, my name is Joe Tolliver, part of Comic Casts. I know I have a leather jacket. It looks nice. Today, we're just gonna be working on some art, talking some crap. No, basically some good stuff.
Are we doing Joe Tolliver?
Joe, this is what happens when you're not on the show. It's a roast. It's a Joe roast. So that's kind of that was
not meant as a roast. I'm just doing impersonations, man.
Wait. Can we actually roast him? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna roast him.
Oh, are we soloing Roy? Is Roy gonna do an impersonation? Why is Roy solo?
I would like to see it. Come on, man.
Roy just looked so confused. He looked so confused. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's like, wait, what?
Wait,
whatever.
Well, if I'm going to do an impression of Joe, yeah, probably the best one is this one.
Okay, here we go.
All right, wait. So that's Joe, uh, telling Rick and Gerald to stop talking. Yeah.
Oh, that's so accurate.
Wait, so if we had to put this in a contest, who would have been the best?
Gee, I don't know. Rick, what do you think? And Rick, I can't hear you. Did somebody silence?
That's great, Rick.
Rick's
That's
muted.
great.
He's like, great. He's like, I don't
didn't
know
mute
what
him.
I'm doing.
I didn't mute him. So what's it wrong with his audio?
Who's
Maybe that's
muting
his
me?
Joe impression.
Maybe Joe muted me. I don't know.
Who won?
He's like, what?
No, I think John Mendoza clearly trains his Joe Tolliver's impression daily. So I think he won.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
I
he got
thought
the
I
leather
did
jacket.
well.
Does he have a leather jacket? Oh no, it's his backpack. Okay, I thought he had a leather jacket.
My leather jacket's downstairs. I can go downstairs and try and get that out.
Oh, but I really felt John wore the leather jacket.
I mean, he's well more known for just his leather jacket.
Hey, well,
That's-
you know what? When it comes to acting chops, the only person in this stream who actually has acting skills and has been on a show is that guy at the bottom is Mr. Brian Silverbacks. I think I don't know how many shows he's been on, but you want to like.
I'll tell you this: on November 17th, you might see me in some sort of Marvel feature.
Oh.
He's just like bragging. He's like flexing now. He's like,
I'm just saying. I mean, I didn't bring it up.
No,
I didn't bring it up.
That was Gerald. Gerald tossed that one straight to you. So yeah, of course.
So that raises the question then: if he was if he was the only one that knew how to act, can he act like Joe?
No, that is not the question because I don't feel like putting people shit out there. I mean, to do a good Joe impression, all you really have to do is fucking close your eyes and kind of look at the camera.
Yeah.
That's all.
Wait. Do it again.
Nailed it.
Do that again. I didn't follow you.
I don't know. You just like I don't know what's going on. All these people are talking stuff, and I don't talk stuff. So
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. You guys,
That-
when
nailed it.
Joe talks, he has like a specific like when he says his last name. It's very specific how he says his last name. It's like Joe Tolliver. Hey, it's me, Joe Tolliver from like Comic Arts. Joe Tolliver Comic Arts, and we bring one side of the indie comic book artist to the other side. We just bring it together, man.
Okay, I can relate to this actually because to be fair, my last name is Bloom. A lot of people keep saying it Blum. So I can relate to this on a personal level.
Well, I mean, I can relate because none of you have ever said my last name correctly.
I don't even know your last name, man.
No.
When you have to say what actually below.
No.
How do you say it? Say it.
No, if I say it, you can just copy me. It's not fun.
It's not fun, but at least
It's
we'll
not
know.
fun to say your name. Yeah.
It's below.
I'm not.
Bulo?
No, not even.
He loves
Yeah. No,
Is
stop
that
it.
a pillow?
Okay. I'm going to bed. Screw you guys.
Oh gosh, I did not know where this show was gonna go.
I was
be
about
fair,
to
neither did I.
say we have an hour in and we already made it a cluster. F-U-C-K.
No,
We're half an hour in. We're just butchering
No,
names at this point.
Yeah, Friday Freestyle is your kind of show, Rick. There's no language limit here. You can.
Oh,
say
so I can say fuck.
yes. Yeah.
Wow.
You can start pushing his native language. That's
So
what you
if
can do.
this is
Yes,
So,
yeah. Say it in
I
your
have-
language. You can say it in your language. Say it in your language. Yeah.
Question.
Så hvis jeg begynder at tale dansk, så forstår I, hvad jeg siger?
Yes.
Correct.
Now that's
He just turned all
backmasking.
his-
I think.
I'll start,
Are you
I'll start
backmasking, man?
No,
I
that-
have a question. I've raising my
Okay.
hand.
Yeah.
So
All right.
okay. So does that mean anything goes?
No,
is
you can't
freestyle.
show. You
No.
can't show your. You
No.
can't show your dick.
No,
Not
still
what I
on
meant,
Facebook.
but good to know. So
I
had a
think I'm gonna regret that we made this freestyle like no censorship because
No. So I have what you call a no filter, and I've been working on this, and I did this at work. I work in a McDonald's, and I had a bunch of Amish people walk in the other day, right?
No. Oh man.
Oh no,
So-
here we go.
So I just instinctively, I yelled at one saying, "Yo, that's a cool hat!"
Oh no.
Okay.
And then you know how they have like that weird thing on the bottom of their like
Yeah.
their hair is so like curly kind of thing. So
don't even know.
I said, so I asked them if their hair was comparable to one of those steel wool things that you use to wash dishes.
Oh damn.
Okay.
That just sounds like you're being an asshole.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just legitimately just a question. Like I asked if you wash
That's not a
dishes.
fucking legitimate question, dude.
You didn't.
No,
You
that's
didn't.
funny. I can't. No.
You didn't get any tips, I assume.
No, he just looked at me, spoke in some sort of, I think it was insulting me, and then he left.
Yeah, I probably would have left too. So,
I think the main thing here is don't speak whatever's on your mind.
That's my main
Yeah.
problem.
filter. You need to have a filter. So
That's what everyone keeps telling me, and I really try to keep a handle on it. It's not really working.
Hey, let's go back to art.
I know how to filter.
Yeah.
I know how to filter myself. Oh well, Gerald filters me. I don't.
Wait,
That's been Gerald's biggest job this year while I've been working with him. That's been to filter me. Like after every show, he's been like, "You said the yes word like 5 times." I'm like, "Oh, I said shit again," and F words. And
if this thing has no filter, then me, Jarrell, and I forgot his name. Is it Roy?
Joe Tolliver?
Yeah, no, Roy.
Roy,
Like can all
Roy.
swear Tagalog and just like nobody would know.
Well, Rick is learning Tagalog. He knows all the good
Oh
words.
come
in
on,
Tagalog.
Rick! Come
yeah.
on.
Putangina.
Oh, here we go. That's like I knew
Putangina.
that would be the word that he's gonna say.
Wait, what
Putangina.
even is that?
That means you're good looking handsome man.
Well, I mean, I've been known as adorable, but that's besides the point.
Well,
Alright.
it doesn't count if you're the only one telling yourself that, Frankie.
I mean, yes, this is fair. This is a valid
Hey,
point.
I'm actually curious. Hey, Brian, what are you working on? Is it digital or is it print? Like, I'd like to see what's on your drawing board.
Nah, you can't see what's on my drawing board, dude.
Oh, is it like ultra top secret? You can't tell us.
I'm the only one that knows about it, so yeah, that's pretty top secret.
Oh,
Like
all
it's all right. So here, let me give you this. All right. So
right, wait. Let me solo you.
I'm not gonna
Alright.
show anything. You ain't gotta solo me.
Oh!
Turn that shit off. All right. So
All right.
I worked on a book with Jonathan Hedrick called The Recount.
That sounds awesome.
Mhm.
And The Recount just got put into production to be a movie. And
Oh damn!
so Jonathan Hedrick and I are going to be doing a signing in January. They're flying us up to Philadelphia to do some
Flying
sort of
out?
in-store. Huh?
Ooh.
He's getting flown out. That's awesome. All expense paid trip.
But yeah, so we're going to be in Pittsburgh or wherever it is in Philadelphia, and we're going to be we have a limited edition book that we're bringing with us for The Recount issue 1, and we're having limited prints. Well, I am designing something so that Jonathan and I can show up wearing something that shows our involvement with the title, so that we can look pretty BA when we're there.
This man just wants to flex over everybody. That's what he
I'm
said.
not fucking here to flex, dude. I'm saying he asked me what I'm doing. I'm designing a fucking
Yeah.
shirt.
I mean,
That's-
if To be honest, Sean, if you could flex like that, you'd do it. I'd do it. Because it's great stuff. I mean, it's great stuff. I'm really knowing how hard Brian works. This is well deserved, man.
Yeah, well, I'm not flexing.
No,
Like if my natural state is to walk around with my veins poking out, then that's just what my natural state is.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's just natural buff. Look at him. Silverbacks isn't a nickname. That's what he was born silverbacked.
somebody compared me one time at work to the Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh, I do have something I can show you though.
Oh, nice.
He's gonna show us his comic book collection.
Damn, there's some positive energy over there.
Yeah.
So this is my rough draft.
Nice.
Yo.
Right. So remember me showing this yesterday? Well, this is as far as I've gotten.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's nice.
Your inks are incredible, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love your
shit.
inks.
So
Nice.
we'll see how long it takes me to finish, but
Hey, I can show what I'm working on. This is just a quick sketch. So.
no, I'm really like I want to talk to Rick here.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
Oh,
that
look at that.
Nightwing though.
I like
Look
it.
at that.
That's
yeah.
looking clean.
Brian, I know what's coming.
No. I want to talk to Rick, the one that's drawing here. Rick.
Oh, Wick. No, that's Wick.
Wick. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his name then.
That's okay.
Oh, it's Rick, as in Victor.
Oh well, shit. I can barely understand you through Rick's accent.
Yeah. Well,
Wait. So a Rick has to have an accent.
Wick as in John Wick.
Yeah,
All right.
John Vic. Hey, we got Niobe. We got Niobe in the house too. So
The
What
only
up,
reason I'm here is to get Vic's information.
Oh
to
wow.
get Vic's information.
Oh, okay.
How do I find you on Facebook?
Just Vic Medina. If you go to, I guess,
All
any
right.
of the Comic Cast stuff, you'll see.
I
me
got
on
you,
there.
Brian. I got you.
Are you a bald-headed anime looking guy?
Yeah,
Yeah, he drew himself. Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that.
that's for our show. Me and Rick are putting together for next year for
Edited and anime looking.
Rick and Vic.
Well, his avatar is a little anime looking guy.
No, that's Wick's creation.
If you look behind Rick right now, you can see me looking over his shoulder right there.
Yeah, he's also here. It's for
Oh,
me and him.
right on. Yeah.
We're doing a show that's coming next year.
Where, like, what all have you worked on, man?
A few books here and there. I'm pretty I'm pretty new, I guess you could say. I'm just starting.
Do you
Everybody-
do interiors and
Yeah, I do
and
interiors.
cover?
Yeah.
Wow, what is your interior page rate, if you don't mind?
Oh.
He's really just like,
it's
oh
60
well.
bucks.
You know what? Wait. Let's just let.
Why don't you
let
send
Vic-
me some of your samples then?
Okay.
Yeah, let-
Yes. When the show's
That
over, I'll send you some.
that was Niobe,
Yeah.
by the way, asking for samples. Just so
Yeah, let Vic talk to them individually. He doesn't need to like put all the
All
great
right,
stuff
well,
out there right
Hey Vic, when
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we can talk after the show.
talk to me, man. I can keep you busy.
All right, sounds good, man. Thanks.
anyways, guys,
you go.
it's almost 5 a.m. here, so I'm gonna jump off. I just wanted to jump in and say hello to all you good people.
Wait. I just wanna do something really quick.
Okay.
Joel, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Put Rick on the
Mhm.
spotlight really quickly for me.
You won't. Okay,
What
put Rick
did
in the
you
spot.
do?
Please.
All
What
right,
did you
he's
do, Rick?
soloed.
All right, Rick, don't move. I'm gonna do something really quickly as much as I can.
This
Okay.
is hilarious to me.
He's doing a screen capture.
I'm not doing a screen capture. Relax, man. I'm not doing a screen capture.
Don't draw me like one of your friends' girls, please.
Yeah, I already. No worries. I'm not gonna draw you like one of my friends.
What are you doing?
He's trying to draw me, I think.
I don't know. I'm kind of scared. I don't know what he's doing.
Come on, Rick, give us a pose. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
there's a
dude,
facial
start
pose.
moving.
Be like,
There you go.
I love
Yeah,
doing the Jeopardy theme music.
How long do I have to be on here? I'm gonna scare the
I'm
viewers.
almost
I
done.
know.
Man. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Calm down. It's all. It's
Wow,
almost done.
quick.
He's quite quick.
Oh, after he's done with his thing, I have something hilarious to show you guys.
If it's another TikTok, please, I will.
It's not a TikTok.
No more TikToks.
It's not a TikTok.
Thank you.
All right. Are you ready? Are you ready?
All right, let me
No.
exit the solo.
Yeah,
All right,
please.
Are you ready?
All right. Am I supposed to solo you out, Sean, now, or what?
Oh yeah. Just go right now.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah. You ready? All right.
Oh my god.
Wow,
Wow.
that's so quick.
That was
That's pretty accurate.
Listen,
yeah, not even like one of my friend's girls. That's perfect.
I was gonna make his head small and then make his body really, really buff. But
Yeah, that's
on
not-
time constraint, I'm not gonna do that. So I just did this as like
No, that's more fitting. That's more fitting.
Yeah.
That is just awesome.
Yeah,
That you
that's
can do
what-
that in just like that little of time.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, see you later, guys. It was fun.
See you, Rick. Good talking to you, man.
All right,
You
Rick.
too.
Yeah,
All
right.
right,
So-
see you later.
For context, I have a buddy on Instagram and he does caricatures. And he was doing this series that he was going to draw 13 artists on Instagram that he admired.
Okay.
I was not aware of this and I was not mentally prepared for this. He sent me this morning. So give me a sec.
So you're one of the 13 artists that he admires? Oh, let me go ahead
Apparently.
and solo you out. Oh, look at that.
I
He even has your
was-
artwork in the background.
I was so impressed with this. I mean, like, I love how my head is so like long and lanky.
It's accurate.
Man.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
Like, look at my face. Compare it. Like, geez.
So you should be very flattered. Somebody
I
took time out
am,
of
and I told him I was very flattered. Thank you. And he's like, dude, you're awesome. Keep up the good work. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, good for you, man. You got a fan.
I-
You know, not
Is this
not
what it
many of
feels
us
like
can
that,
say that.
fan? This is what it feels like.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
But to also, I don't mean to keep the thing on me. I just wanted to show you guys also what I'm working on as well.
Mhm.
There's a guy that he's doing an art challenge and he wants to draw our original characters like Dragon Ball style.
Mhm.
So I'm basically doing like this entire piece.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Very cool.
Wow.
Very cool.
It
I
is
got
Dragon Ball.
the original Super Saiyan in there.
Uh-huh.
I got my Super Saiyan 2.
Uh-huh.
And then I have Super. Oh, wait. There we
Okay.
go.
Yep.
Super Saiyan 3.
You know, I'm gonna have to say that I don't know much about Dragon Ball Z, but it definitely looks like Dragon Ball Z to me. You guys all know what he's talking about? I mean, it looks good to me. So,
No, I'm right there with you, Jarrell. I don't know too much, but it looks
I
cool.
haven't watched Dragon
It
Ball
looks
since
awesome.
Goku was a kid. And I mean,
Really?
like, he was a kid. It was just called
Like
Dragon
the
Ball.
original Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I
mm.
mean, I'm a very big Dragon Ball nerd. So anything Dragon Ball related, I'm definitely not down to draw. So it's like,
Uh-huh.
if I find anything Dragon Ball related, and if it's an art challenge, you bet your ass I'm gonna do it.
Gonna in it to win it, right? You're gonna win that challenge, right?
I don't even know if it's like a prize challenge kind of thing. I just think it's just a challenge just to do it.
Mhm.
I mean, heck, I would like a good prize here and there. What you mean?
Yeah. I mean, got to make it worth your while, right?
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
think that Ghost Rider skull is pretty epic, though.
It-
you know?
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
I really enjoy that. Like the how the flames are drawn. Yo, I love that.
So who's
Wait till you-
drawing that piece right now?
This is.
'Cause I
this
don't
is
know
still
anyone
Vic.
on the panel except for maybe one or two. Yes.
Yeah, this is all Vic.
Oh,
In
that would
fact,
be me.
it's going to get better because Vic is also not only a penciler and an inker, he's also a phenomenal colorist. So you're gonna
Jack
see
of all
some-
trades.
Yeah, and
try
he's
to be,
writing.
Try to be, anyways.
He's gonna write his own book too. So look forward to that in 2022. So,
Yo, let's go.
yeah.
Yeah, Joel sent me the link, and I'm like, oh, okay. They're live. They got an open mic, and I get in here, and there's no Joe Tolliver.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine your surprise.
You missed the Joe impersonations that were earlier, Niobe or
Or
Larry.
Joe Black.
So yeah, you could have saw all the acting glory from we had Roy do it, his impression, and we also had Frankie do it, and then Sean with his stellar impersonation of of Joe Tolliver.
It was a pretty good impersonation, I'll have to say.
Yeah. And of course, Brian actually did a really good impersonation as well. So,
Well, I would have just imitated John Cena and called that my impression because that's what Joe looks like to me. He looks like John Cena.
yes,
No,
yeah.
no.
Hey, speaking of which, we should have a freestyle Friday where everybody just draws Joe as Peacemaker.
I don't
Yeah,
think
Joe's
I don't
gonna-
know if he would find that flattering or creepy.
Both.
It'll be really funny though.
It would be funny, yes. Definitely funny.
So what have I missed, gentlemen? What are you all? Is this just sort of like a live drawing
It is
stream?
just there is drawing mixed in with it, but it's pretty much just it's freestyle. Anybody can talk about whatever topic of the day. We can draw if you want to share anything that you guys are working on. This is pretty much the comics cast. I want to say uncensored, but I don't want to say completely because I don't know if you're gonna get in trouble. If I just say anybody say whatever you want. We want to keep things, I guess, a little bit,
Family
within
friendly,
bounds.
PG-13.
I
Hey.
think we already passed that already. I think we passed.
All
that.
right,
Fair enough.
I'll share something. Man.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Well, all right. I got something I can share too whenever it's my turn.
Okay.
Same.
Who's sharing? And I can.
Well,
solo.
I put
Who's-
one in there, but it doesn't matter who goes first, brother.
Okay, let me get Niobe on here. So Niobe, we got add to stream. All right,
Boom.
there you go. You are up.
Yeah. So this is the latest thing for us. We're in being published by Antarctic Press now, and
You're
Oh, very cool.
Good news.
and
Good
Niobe's
news.
out on shelves next week. So this
Ooh.
is what you're looking for if you're interested in what we do. It's Exciting Comics 17, where she makes her, direct market debut. That's a gorgeous cover by Witchblade's very own Randy Green. If you remember Witchblade from back in the Image days.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Colors by Dan the Man Overa.
I love how you
And-
just said Dan the man.
Yeah, no, he definitely is the man. I mean, here's the thing that people don't understand about colors. You can have a great black and white, but if you have a great colorist, they take that great piece and they make it epic.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I
and
agree.
Dan did a great job here, And
Yeah, that
this
was
is yeah, thanks, brother. Well, this has led to other things now with the Antarctic Press. So, like, what Exciting Comics is essentially a superhero anthology book, right? It stems way back from the golden age. There used to be Exciting Comics like way back in the 40s, and they were like 10-cent comics, And somehow Ben Dunn and crew have the label, and they do this. So this is a great way for like new creators to sort of break in, get their work out on shelves, and open that door of opportunity, that's what this has done, because now we're being published by AP. Niobe will have her own title after this, and working on a crossover story with Mr. Ben Dunn with Niobe and the Ninja High School crew.
Yeah, I read about that. This was, I think you mentioned something about how you read that comic like back in the day, and now you're actually going to have your character with this character. Isn't that just you've come
That's
full
very
circle?
cool.
Well,
Isn't that
back when I
awesome?
was 14, Ninja High School was on. They would do these yearbooks, right? And then in these yearbooks, artists and writers or whatever could submit their stories for publication. So at 14 years old, I'm trying to draw Ichiku, okay? And I can't draw, not like you guys at all, right? I can draw enough to say this is kind of what it should look like, and it looks really bad. And
Just
an
enough
artist
to give
can
the
take
basic
that
ideas.
and make it actually look good. You know what I mean? But so since I couldn't draw, I turned to writing, because I want to be part of this somehow, some way, you know. So
Right.
See, I wish I had the writing capability. I can draw. I mean, like, I'm not saying I can draw, but like I can draw pretty well. But I mean, design wise is pretty good. But when it comes to like writing a story for a character, I cannot come up with anything.
Oh, I'm the same way. I'm with you. You get these like awesome ideas, and you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be awesome," and then you
Exactly.
sit down to write it,
Like
and
for
you're
example,
like,
my character, the Crimson Crow that I made, this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
I fail at trying to make a story for this thing because at one hand I want to be like a Batman / Iron Man type of character, but at the same time you use so many cliches you don't know which one is gonna be like suitable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Hey, but
is the fun. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, it's like you're doing it. I mean, you have to like take that first step, and even if you fall down while you're doing it, at least you get back up. You got it out there. I mean, I think, what do they say? It's like you're doing the work, you're getting stuff done. So it's not just something that's in the ether. It's not something that's just in the back of your head. You're actually making it happen. So
Yeah.
I got to give you props for that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Oh,
But
it's
to
about
be
drive.
fair,
It's
I
about
went from
knowledge.
originally. I went from this
Mm-hmm.
to this in a matter of like 5 months.
Oh,
So
nice.
Bro,
Yep.
it's about drive. It's about power.
oh yeah, definitely.
I gotta hold on. I gotta look up the.
well, if I were you, I just write them the way that you want to write them. I wouldn't worry too much about comic book tropes or cliches, because I'll tell you, it's hard, really, really hard to come up with something completely unique and completely original in this days and age. I can
Right.
look at almost any character that's being developed, including my own, and tell you where some of those influences have come from, or what they may have borrowed. You know what I mean?
Lack of a better term, but yes.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I think
So what you're saying is just basically write it and then basically just not worry about the cliches and tropes because it's not even out yet, so you don't have to worry about
Well, yeah, I mean, write it and then go over it, maybe show a couple people. I mean, if it's really that bad, I'm sure changes can be made and edits can be done, but you're probably going to be all right. You know what I
Of
mean?
course. That actually makes perfect sense. I think it's just a matter of just jumping off the deep end and just trying to do it.
Well, it's like anything else. You got to picture Shia LaBeouf, right, screaming in your face, "Just do it!"
Or the Rock just rapping like it's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours.
That's it, man.
I mean, that's definitely a way to look at it.
It amazes me though that because like to me art seems like to be the biggest challenge, and then when I talk to artists, they're like writing, and I'm like, what, really?
They're like, how is writing the hardest part of all of it?
I don't know. I think
writers have it easy, man. We do. I mean, it's one of the fastest things you can do in comics. I can bang out a script in a week or two, maybe faster if I'm really in the zone. I hand it off to a girl, it gets edited, and then that gets fired off to an artist, and I wait 6 months.
So it's just a matter of bang bang boom, basically. In a sense.
What's that? No, I didn't hear that last part.
So it's just a matter of like the bing bang boom kind of thing, You get it done, got it done.
Yeah, I mean, when you write a comic book script, it's not like you're writing a novel, right? And writing a comic book script is much like writing a screenplay, like writing a script for a play. Johnny opens the door, Johnny sits down. You're literally narrating it like that. It's not like, oh, Johnny walks into the room and he smells the pungent stench of whatever. You don't need to get into that much detail when you write a comic book script. You just need to basically convey exactly what you want the artist to draw. And if you have like a particular angle or shot in mind, you throw that in there. But a lot of times the artist will just take your words and interpret them and give you something really, really nice to look at,
Right. Okay,
I'm curious now. When you do your scripts, how do you write them? Do you write them full script, or you Like
Yeah, I'm not a
like
marble
the
plot guy.
method, or
I pretty meticulous with it, you know. But I also tell them, right, you know, like when I hand them a full script, and it is a full script, where I detail each panel and how many panels per page and da da da. Because I'm not an artist, you know, maybe I'm throwing too much in there sometimes, right? And I'm like, you know,
yeah,
if something's not working or there's just too much in here and you can't put it all in, you know, feel free to change it. Feel free to spread it out a little bit. You know, like this isn't like, you know, the script isn't absolute law, you know, whatever we need to do to make it work. Because a lot of times the artist will know better than I will. Like, oh man, that might be too much to go on one panel. Or I can't fit that all in. Or there's too many actions at once. And I've never really had that problem, but I always, you know, they got that leeway to do it. I mean, I've read enough comics that I kind of got the beat, you know, what can actually fit in there and what can't, but you know.
When I first started Instagram, there was this dude who asked me to draw. He sent me a script, like he emailed me a script, and I thought it'd be good practice to actually, you know, just because I wanted to be a comic artist. And I thought it'd be really good practice. So I spent the entire night trying to draw Batman in several different panels. And once I showed the guy how it looked, he never got back to me. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, welcome to comics. You know, you'll get a lot of people that will feign interest or maybe have an interest. The thing with comic books and putting together your own book is it's not cheap. You know, if you're an artist and you're doing your own book, well, then you just saved yourself half the cost right there, right? Because the majority of the cost for a guy like me who doesn't do art is paying for that cover art. It's paying for the sequential art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're doing it yourself, then you know then you're not wasting money per se, and I wouldn't even call it a waste. You're not spending money, you're spending your time, right? So how you value your time and what you get out of it is what's going to make that different for you, you know. But it costs like, you know, us at least $5-6 grand to put together an issue, and that's
God,
going bare bones. You know, let's say you're paying an average of $100 a page, right? Well, that's like, you know, $2,400 right there. You know, let's say you get 2 or 3 variant covers, you know, you can add on another grand or so, depending on who you have. Then, you know, you got the cost for the colorist. Maybe that's $50-$60 a page. Then you got, you know, your letterer, you know, that's going to be about anywhere from $10 to $20 a page.
Now, is the letterer his own thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can letter the book yourself, but I suggest hiring someone that actually knows what they're doing with that. Because I lettered 2 of my own books, and they look like crap. And then I got in touch with a guy named Joe Rodriguez, who does some stuff over at Scout Comics, and it was night and day. He threw in like little sound effects, and when Niobe's thought captions came up, he put them through little Niobe portals because he's a teleporter, right? So he really made it look good, and where he placed the panels was just incredible, because I'm looking at these pages and I'm going, there's not a lot of room for the dialogue here, but somehow a good letterer will make that work. You know what I mean?
Where there's a will, there's a way, basically, right? You know?
What's that?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Well, where there's experience, you'll get it done, right? And
yeah,
because you know the thing is, you want the balloons to flow in a nice way that's easy on the eye, that's going to keep you guided from page to page to page, and sort of, you know, almost like a snake, right, working its way through, you know. If the balloons aren't in the proper spot, the reader gets confused or reading dialogue out of order. You might be covering up important art. You know, everything that we do in comic books, from the art down to the lettering, is an art form.
Right, of course. No, everything. In my personal opinion, I feel like every sort of creative motion is an art form within itself.
Yeah.
Because my back when I was in high school, I actually graduated from auto body, and there was so much I did not realize about that, because like the amount of like stuff that goes into it, that's like an art form within itself, because you have different people doing different tasks or adding in different categories, like cleaning the airbrush. You need to work the airbrush. You need to, you know, when it comes to painting mainly. I don't know if that was relevant. I'm sorry.
No, it's all relevant. I mean, this is Indie Comics Cast. You know, this is what we do, right? We talk comics, we ask questions, we bounce ideas off of each other. You know, we get each other's input. You know,
of course. Of course.
No, I'm curious. Going back to the letter, how hard was it to find a letter? Because you don't really see too many, like at
It was easy.
conventions or people post. Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it that easy to find a letterer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, for me, it was easy to get everyone. I just put a post on Facebook. You know, this is what I need. Send me your samples, and then, you know, like when I went for a colorist, man, I had like 50 applicants overnight.
Oh, wow.
Overnight.
Wait, so here's my question then, because again, hang on a second, I'm just gonna. So, when it comes to using Facebook, is that just mainly the key there? You just post it on Facebook and see who gets a thing?
Well, I mean, you can go search out, you know, people that you might be aware of. Like, you know, listen, all you have to do is open up a comic book and see who lettered that book. You know what I mean? You can add them on Facebook and go, hey, you know, I was reading this series. I saw you were doing the lettering. You know, are you open for a gig? You know what I mean? Like, you might get a yes out of that, you know. But what I do is I'll just post in a few groups, post on my own page, say, hey, you know, I'm looking for a letterist, you know, who wants some work. And then, you know, people will just message me out of the blue, and then I'll look over their samples, and you know, and at that point I go by how good they are versus their rate, you know, and see if it fits in within the budget we got. And if it does, cool, you know.
Right. Now, because the main reason why I'm asking, and again, this is going to sound completely out of the blue, and I know, the main reason why I made a Facebook to begin with was because I wanted to expand, because I mainly had Instagram as my main art account thing. Then my sister told me to make a Facebook, and hopefully that'll expand because I'm making my own little business thing, right?
Yeah.
And I still, to this day, have no idea on how it works.
Well, I mean, Facebook is just like any other sort of
right.
You know,
no, I know that much.
I mean, with Instagram, it's pretty easy. You know, post a picture, you know, put a couple of lines in, a couple of hashtags, and away you go. You know,
right.
Facebook is a little bit more evolved, where you can do all the above, but put in more detail, right? So you would have your own personal page. You know, you would have like your fan page or group page that you want to make. You know.
So it's not just one individual page then.
You can have it that way, but it doesn't need to be limited to that. No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was relatively confused on that.
Well, I mean, it shocks me that, you know, in this day and age, that there's some people out there that still haven't used Facebook. I've been using it since 2007.
I'll be honest. I had one when I was 13, and then now this is actually going to be kind of embarrassing, but when I was 13, my memory is not great. I will admit this. So I just kind of didn't write it down, my password. And I just like, oh, I don't know my password. Oh, well, I don't need it. And I haven't touched it in years.
Well, I mean, here's what I would suggest, you know, to anyone that's looking to get their work out there is use as many of these platforms as you got time for. I mean, there's so many platforms that we can't use them all, right? But we know what the big ones are. We know it's Facebook. We know it's Twitter. We know it's Instagram, right? And then if you do live streaming, such as, you know, what's happening right now, then you're going to go to Twitch, you're going to go to YouTube and Facebook Live. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, you know, being part of Facebook, you know, you're on Facebook Live. That's how I kind of, you know, saw this, you know what I mean? Was through Facebook, you know?
Of course. No, that actually makes a lot more sense than what I was initially thinking, and my thought process was a lot different. So,
you know, use the Facebook as a promotional tool. Like I got 2 Facebook accounts. I got one that's got like 212 friends, right? And those are people I know in the real world, in real life, you know, family, you know, kids I grew up with, that sort of stuff, right? And then there's the Niobe Comics Facebook page, which is almost 5,000 friends, right? It's almost at its limit. And that's where I go and post all the cool things that we're doing with the comic and the new art and, you know, other things that are comic book related. I'll post my YouTube videos there. I'll share other people's Kickstarter links there, all that sort of good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point, Larry, because I think that as an artist, it's almost like you want to have your personal page, which you have for your friends and family, and then you have your professional page, where you keep it strictly whatever if you're writing or if it's art. That way you can kind of keep things separate, because not everybody needs to see, you know, like if there's a new addition to your family, like you got a new dog or something like that. But if you're gonna keep it like if you're gonna use it as a tool to like get jobs, to get your name out there, then you want to keep it professional in that respect. And
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. That was my initial thought process at the time, I will admit. And everyone, and my sister's like, because my sister is on my Instagram like constantly, and she's like, "Why don't you post this of my family?" Or "Why don't you post this of my sister?" Like, like for like her birthday or something. I'm like, Hannah, no, this is not for personal use. It's for my business. And she's like, "Oh, why?" And I'm like, "I don't know why. That's just how it works for me. I'm sorry."
Well,
Well, one
there's
thing
nothing
you
wrong
don't
with
want-
posting a
you
little
don't want-
personal here and there, because your fans, the people that support you, are gonna, because there's two types of fans out there, I would suggest now, right? And there's probably more than that, but let's go with the two types that I'm going to refer to. There's type that just see the work and they're really into the work, and that's all they care about, right? That's a
Right.
pretty picture. I want to own that, or I want that cover. I want that book. Then there's the fan who is behind you more so than the work. They like your personality. They like the things you had to say. They saw you online. Somehow you made a connection with them, and now they want everything you do, So they're interested in what you do in day-to-day life. You know what I mean?
So basically, it's more like don't like overlook it, is what you're telling me.
Right. Every now and then, open the curtain a little,
No, I've heard like especially from editors, they don't want to waste their time, like Joel said, seeing your new dog, 5 or 6 pictures of it. They want to get to your artwork. So I feel it's like really good to have both. And if you want to share them with the fans, that's great. So that way they can see your personal. But you should have some kind of professional one that if you do give a card to an editor and they go look at it, they're not looking at like what you're eating that day. They're looking at all your artwork, and they just go through it.
I'll tell you, to that point, I'll get messages that people want to do covers for Niobe, or they want me to see their art or whatever. And then the first thing I say is, okay, well, send me your links. You know what I mean? And I'll go to someone's Facebook page, and to that thing, if I see like a bunch of dogs and babies and what you had,
That's
for
just an
dinner last night,
automatic term.
and I gotta scroll down through the bottom to find your art, then that's a problem, right? You know what I mean?
Because I actually got a commission. Now, again, this was a failed commission, but it was a commission nonetheless. This guy wanted me to do a like a Family Guy type of series, and he wanted me to draw 12 characters and another pic of them all together for $150.
That sounds very cheap.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Can I say something real quick?
No, but I looked at his stuff just to make sure that he didn't have like anything like questionable, and he's like, it was just of him blowing stuff. It was like no.
What's the fellow with the New York shirt want to say something?
Yeah, Sean.
Let me say something, please. I'm sure. Do any of you guys know Anthony Marquez?
About what?
I don't think so.
You know Anthony Marquez, president of the Kubert School?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, here's a more simple question. You guys know what the Kubert School is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We've all heard of the Kubert School, but I don't know the person in particular that you're referring to.
Right.
Well, coming from someone who attends the Kubert School, not to flex, but when it comes to being in the business and being professional about your work, there's always you gotta have a balance. But when it comes to work, when it comes to doing these pages for people, for whether it's DC, an indie comic book, the big two, Image, whatever, there's always gonna be the professional side of you that's gonna work and get the money because that's what you want to get the job for. And then there's also that side of you who's kind of like me, that's like a fanboy that wants to go to conventions, that wants to meet people, and wants to do fan art and everything. But
dude, that was me totally.
but when it comes to doing this whole thing as a serious thing, you got to know where to draw the line. And Anthony, who's the president of the Kubert School, has told me this many times. And as much as I do so much fan art, I really try to keep it professional for the school. And when it comes to this stuff, and you guys said this already, people aren't going to be, they're not interested in what you can draw. They're not interested in if you could do fan art of this character. They're interested if you know the fundamentals of making the comic book page, making something that tells a good story, so that they know to hire you and they know that you can meet a certain deadline. Because I know a lot of people have, I know a lot of people when I was back in high school, people who said, "Oh, what comics are so cool. I want to become a comic artist when I grow up." And then when it gets to that point, you don't understand how, for some people, how difficult it is when they're starting out to make comics. And I don't think anybody understands like the amount of fundamentals and work and knowledge you need to put into a comic book, because there are
So
certain things that you gotta know, and you gotta teach yourself, or you gotta learn as you progress and the whole thing. And
Mhm.
it's interesting to know because um ever since I started going to the Cuba school, there's been so much that I've learned that I didn't know before. And if I didn't, if I didn't know this kind of stuff, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. Like, I wouldn't have improved at all.
exactly.
And
And Sean, if I might interject on something that you said, actually, that brings up a really good point. And again, this is actually out of my own personal thing as well. And basically, what some artists will do is they'll just try and draw something just for the sake of drawing it, or just try and get a little bit of a cash grab.
yeah,
I will literally just draw just to get better at what I do. It's like whenever I see someone like top me or something, it's not to quote unquote top me, and you can't see if I'm doing the quote thing. I'm not. Anyway, so I will literally see someone going, "Yo, Frank, did you see this dude? He's topping you, bruh." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't care. I just want to get better at what I'm doing. It's not the matter of just,
yeah,
it's like trying to fix what your previous, it's like in a lack of better terms, it's what you're trying to see what you can't do, and then later on trying to figure out what you can do to make sure that you can fix that, basically, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we had one girl who was going to draw Niobe at one point, and it was going to be in a manga style, right? And she could do, manga people, no problem. And then
Right.
there was a scene where it called for a motorcycle. For the love of God, she couldn't draw the bike, right? Just couldn't get down. You know what I mean?
Really?
And here's the thing: when people say, "Hey, I want to draw art for Niobe, or I want to do something for Niobe," a lot of times these are cats that just sort of do single image sort of drawings, and I'll be like, "Okay, great. Well, show me your sequential art." Well, I don't do that. Well, then I don't have a use for you, because I got a list of cover art as long as my arm. You know what I mean? But finding good sequential art is hard, because guess what? As Sean said, it's hard.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna draw Batman in 5 different panels, make Batman look different in 5 different ways. But yet still know it's the same character. Sometimes that's hard. If a scene calls for, say you're drawing a fantasy book and there's a war going on, you got to draw like a dozen horses riding down your ass. Yeah, that's hard. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Now, actually, this brings up a really good point too. My mother, thank God for my mother, by the way. She literally will give me her honest to God opinion about my drawings. Like, seriously, if I showed her this Dragon Ball picture, she would just go, "Oh, pointy hair." Basically, yeah. But the main thing she used to tell me is, "Why don't you draw a tree? Why don't you draw a fox? Why don't you just draw something real?" And I'll be like, "Okay."
Well, I mean, it's not a bad thing to draw something from life, because you never know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And apart from that, when I was talking about the whole comics thing, I don't have my iPad on me, but I just found out I remembered that I had this on my phone. This was an assignment that I had to do for one of my classes. I don't know if you guys can see that, but
full screen them a bit, and we'll be able to see that better.
Yeah, let me get it out there. All right.
Hold on. Yeah, there you go. Hold on.
Oh my,
yeah, look at that,
dude.
So when it comes to these kind of things, you gotta not everything is like in an instant. You gotta plan this whole thing out. And this shit right here, this isn't even the completed page. I don't have the completed page on me, but this shit, it's not easy to do this kind of thing because this didn't look originally like this when it started out in the roughs. I changed like all of this as as I was going over it with the teachers, and when it comes to doing the final stuff, and you got to commit to it. And look, I mean, this isn't even the finished page yet, but I'll show it to you some other time. But when it comes to when it comes to doing this stuff, and when it comes to going to Cooper School, there's always expectations, and the teachers are going to treat you like professionals, and there
Oh,
are
yeah.
going to be deadlines, and there are going to be people where they come in and they review your stuff. Because last month we just had DC come to the Cooper School. We had the Milestone Initiative. We had Pixar even come to the school too.
I'm sorry, Pixar?
Yeah, Pixar. Um,
Mind
and
blown.
it's a big thing because when you have this stuff done, when you put out the experience and when you show the experience that you're doing and the stuff that you draw in the school or in general, it'll start to pay off once you put all that effort into it.
Right.
Look, there's a guy named Dave Sims. He used to do a book called Cerebus back in the day, right?
Okay.
Yes.
And one of the things that Dave Sim had said was, and he doesn't exactly get the best reputation now, but one of the things he said back in the day was, if you want to be a comic book artist, you got to draw about 1,000 pages before you really sort of hit your craft. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what my teachers say all the time.
Yeah, about 1,000 pages before you're really sort of, in that zone. Gerald, throw me up on the screen for a sec. Not me, but my share.
Okay. There
I'm
you
going to
go.
show you guys some Niobe pages from our latest book.
Oh my word.
Oh.
That's just pretty to look at.
The colors, right? Dan, the man of
The colors, yes. The colors, the colors really make sure they pop. Like the purple and the red just know how to mix.
Wait,
And look how he did, sort of like this drone that's sort of analyzing our hero, right? It's getting like a bio readout on her, all her data, real time. Just the way he made that look, like I said, I wanted to make it look like, it's almost like was it infrared, or a heat, heat scan, like, bio
Predator.
Yeah, exactly, like a predator thing, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It looks great. It looks great.
It does. I really enjoy that. Like, see, this is what's hyping me up to try and get better.
So yeah, I mean, these guys have been around for. We're gonna fix this little part right here. We're gonna get rid of that fucking gray. You know what I mean?
Oh, is that kind of like how the pixelated thing is supposed to
Yeah,
look?
this is supposed to be pixelated. It didn't come out that way, but I'm gonna get that redone. But yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, both of these guys that the artists and the colorists, have worked for Action Lab Comics. The colorist has worked for Zenoscope. You know what I mean?
Wait. Did you say Action Lab Comics?
I did.
Wait, Action Lab. You mean
Sean's like, yo, I know what this is.
Are you talking about are you talking about like Elliot Fernandez?
Well, no. Well, I'm talking. They worked on books like Puppet Master that Action Lab did. Dan has worked on Zombie Tramp and Vamp Blade, which are a couple other.
I strangely heard of Zombie Tramp. I haven't read it, nor do I know anything about it. I just saw a title and I'm like,
So Zombie Tramp was basically what put Action Lab on the map. Really, it was Dan Mendoza's creation. If you guys ever heard of Dan Mendoza, he's like a big time popular artist now. Does his own thing. He actually had to get the rights from Zombie Tramp back from Action Lab.
Was it like a lawsuit sort of thing?
Well, no, but he was under a contract, and you want the contract to be ended, and you know what I mean. So he could just take over his IP and kickstart his own stuff. Because quite honestly, that's where the real money is now. You know what I mean? Is in the direct sale, like selling directly to the customer. And he does over $100,000 Kickstarter campaigns. You know what I mean?
Oh my word!
But yeah, so.
Hey guys,
some tier
I'm sorry to interrupt, and I truly am sorry, but and that looks awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
I actually need to head out because I need to work in the morning, so I need to head to bed.
Well, it's nice to meet you, brother.
All right, man.
Yeah,
Guys, thank you so much for letting me be on, and again, I am
Oh,
very
did he
honored.
drop out already?
No, he's there.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You sort of broke up there for a sec.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying
okay.
thank you very much for having me on. I really I appreciate it so much.
So,
Hey,
Frankie,
we're all-
is that your name on Facebook? If I go add you, am I going to find you?
I believe so. I believe it is Frankie. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, yeah. It's either Frankie Bloom or Frank Bloom. One of those two.
I will search you out.
Yeah.
All right, please do. Also, I also want to somewhat apologize because I kind of felt like I kind of stepped out a little bit, out of bounds a bit when it came to the no filter thing.
It's all right. It's all right.
I am sorry for that.
It's all good. We're glad that you could be here. So
We
join
got a
us for
guy
next-
backstage. Just to let you know, Gerald. We're gonna
Yep, I
replace
see him.
Frankie. We're gonna
Mhm.
bring in Pete Vask of Fat Guy Inc. No, I'm not kidding. That's the name.
That is. Hey, Pete, how you doing?
Yo, what's going on? How's
Oh, hey,
everybody?
I just got your friend request. Yay.
All right, Frankie, you get your sleep for tomorrow. So thank you for joining us. All right.
Thank you. Also, just a little heads up as well. If you guys have Instagram, make sure to check me out at Bloom2531.
So Frank, I just sent you an ad, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I just got it.
Beautiful.
He was gonna change his name
All
to
right.
some story thing.
Thank you guys. I'll catch you guys later.
All right. See you later.
So,
All right, have a good one, man.
Good evening, everyone.
Pete, why don't you
Familiar
introduce
faces?
yourself to the crowd, sir?
Hey, everybody. You guys, some of the faithful I know of Comics Cast know who I am. I know Gerald knows who I am. My name is Pete Vasquez. I'm a New York, Long Island independent artist. I am one half of the art studio Fat Guy Inc. We're just two big guys who have a studio, and we thought that would be a great name. I am the king of freelance, underground freelance, comic book work, inking, sequential covers, whatever. Plus, I'm a commission artist, and now, thank God, I'm a convention artist again, painting, inking, drawing, just about everything, man. And it's fun. I actually just so everybody, because people are going to ask, so I'm just going to get it right off the bat. I was in Artist Alley at
here we
Anime.
go.
I was in Artist Alley at Anime NYC, and I did know about the positive person who came down with the Omicron, and I did get tested, and I passed once again.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. I'm
Good.
safe.
Congrats on not being sick, sir.
Yes,
You know?
sir. So anybody who was at Anime NYC, please go get yourselves looked at. It's better safe than sorry. That's not a fun surprise, but I figured.
Look, not to interrupt, but look what Sean just did, man.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah, I
solo
know
you,
that's. Is there a theme? Because I have a blank piece of paper in front of
Well,
me. Is
I
there a
didn't
theme?
mean to start a theme, but that's awesome. And now I got to go add Sean. Sean, are you on?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook.
All right, I'm gonna find you out right now, sir. That is brilliant. I love it, brother. And again, just like when you drew Rick, man, you did that in like record time, brother.
I did this as quickly as I could, but anyway, I gotta head out too because I gotta wake
Oh,
up
you
for the
do?
convention tomorrow. I'm
Okay.
traveling in the morning, so
You're doing a convention tomorrow. Where are you going to be? Where can people find you? What con are you going to, sir?
I am going to Garden State Comic Fest. It's a local convention in New Jersey.
Yeah, I was gonna go to that, but I didn't get a table. I got waiting listed.
Oh really?
Good show. Our buddy, my buddy Phil's gonna be there.
Yeah. Phil was sir. Yeah, I know him. I think most of us do. But
Fellow Long Islander.
I'll be tabling there with the Cuba School booth. I'll be
cool.
there from 10 to 1 o'clock. So I'll be selling some stuff. Also, before I go, I just want to show off the quick other sketches that I did.
Let me
Wonder
solo you.
Woman.
Hold on a second. All right.
Look at that.
Look at that. Some Wonder Woman.
And then I did Mandalorian.
This is the way, sir.
This is the way.
This is the
You
way.
just did those just now?
Yeah, I did those like while we were
Wow.
talking. I just never showed up because I was too busy.
No,
But
absolutely.
anyway, thanks for having me on. Hopefully, I can make it for next Friday if I'm not busy.
Mhm.
But yeah. Well, once again, this is Comics Cast, and I'm Joe Tall. With my buddy Joe Moto. You know, we take one side of the indie comics industry and we do it on the other side, and we bring it together. It's why we call it Comics Cast. Now, I'm a military guy, you know, and when it comes to when it comes to having a family and also being a CEO of Comics Cast, we gotta bring these two worlds together. It's like Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus. We gotta bring it together, man. And I'm a huge fan of Super Power Beatdown. My favorite guy, Kevin Porter, who plays Batman. I love that guy. Oh my God. I wear a leather jacket. I wear a leather jacket almost every day because it makes me look badass. You know what I mean? And I look like The Rock right now. It's all about drive. It's about power. That's my heading out kind of thing.
That was
Okay.
phenomenal.
All right, Sean. Thanks so much. Good luck
Hey.
with your con tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on again.
Say hi to everybody, man. All the folks I
Yeah.
didn't get
I
to
will,
see.
man.
Appreciate
All right,
you.
guys. Take care.
Peace out, brother.
All right. See you later.
I don't even know how to leave this one.
Roy, how's
Yeah,
the baby,
Roy.
Roy?
Hey, Larry.
Yes.
How's the
Hannah?
family, Roy?
Hannah?
How's everything going?
Yeah.
'Cause
We're doing good. Yeah. Good thing I'm in comics because I'm in it for the money.
you're in it for there's money in this. Win.
You know
That was the
when
best
Roy,
answer.
Roy doesn't talk much, but when he talks, he speaks truth.
Right.
So it's just, Roy, you got anything you want to show? You want to share? Anything that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
top secret? Yeah, let's see some of Roy work because is it? Let me
Well,
see.
I
Do have
hope
the-
this is okay. I think so.
I'll be
go
back
ahead,
in
share.
1 second. 1 second. Excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Roy, just let me know when you want to share, and I'll populate it here.
So this is a new
Yep.
show you guys are doing every Friday now? I'm just gonna
Yeah,
or every
it's
Saturday,
just-
Friday, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Friday Freestyle, where it's like no script. Well, actually, none of the stuff is scripted, but it's just sort of like we just talk about what's going on. People can share artwork. We can all just kind of like network, like you did. And it sounds like Vic got some leads too. So yeah, it's really just about
it was nice.
talking. Yeah. So let me show what Roy has because look at this.
Oh,
Roy killed
God
it.
damn it, man.
Okay. All right.
It's
I'm gonna
amazing.
say this. We were talking. I wish Frankie was still here. I think Larry kind of like hit on this whole thing about like comics as a medium it's Vic, you can back me up on this too. It's sequential storytelling. This is what's different from like doing a pinup, doing a if there's like a novel and then you kind of like do like some supporting artwork for it, or if you just do like a book cover for prose. It's comics are totally different. You have to be able to lead the viewer. I mean, I think comic storytelling, sequential storytelling is so unappreciated. It's like with anything. If you see a sequential story and it just doesn't flow, Larry was talking about like lettering and how if you don't put the word bubbles in the right place, or if you don't add the sound effects in the right places, or if you don't lead the reader through it, from a lettering standpoint or a panel story thing, it's not successful. But when you see like really good sequential storytelling, it's like you're in a movie and you can see you feel like you're advanced through the story, and it's seamless. You're not confused. You know where you're at. You know where the characters are at. You can read the expressions, and you can see stuff like what Roy's doing here. These are just great
this is
establishing
amazing.
shots. I mean, just
doesn't even
really,
need-
really good.
This doesn't even need word balloons. You could see it, feel it, hear all these images. Like
Yes,
like
you could smell the
watching a movie with
smoke
the
in
sound
this
off.
bar
This
room.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Just-
I think the last time I showed this is a year ago, almost a year
Mhm.
ago at Comics Cast. So I have a lot of projects going on, and some big tickets, but for now we got a very good deal. We got a very good deal for this comic book, and yeah, I'll probably announce when this is coming out. We are really excited about this. It took me uh it took this um this book about uh, almost 6 months. We waited
6 months.
almost 6 months to hear from publishers and to decide whether we go the crowdfunding route or sell it to publisher. But we have high hopes for this year end, and hopefully we'll be able to announce this great uh,
I don't know what they were
early
waiting
next
on. Why
year.
it took that long? This is amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, Roy is meticulous. He's had many conversations with him about storytelling, and
Mhm.
I tell you, Roy is. I mean, he's a studious man. He's researched like grid patterns and how to lead your eye, and I tell you, these pages. There's so much thought that goes into it, but the
Yeah.
thought, it's like you it's like it's so natural that you don't realize how much thought goes into it. It's like it works because he put that work into it. Just really good storytelling.
It looks like
and,
something I could
you-
see straight out of Image Comics, dude. Like seriously, like it looks
It's
good.
sleek and clean.
And whoever did the
Yeah.
colors for that deserves some props.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the
this
colors
is-
are incredible.
Oh yeah. He definitely made my art better. Yeah.
That's what a good color
Um,
does, man.
Yeah. This is colored by Renato Pacheco. I think the Brazilian colorist, and made
Yeah, look at that.
My
Jeez.
way better.
That's fantastic.
I mean, it looked great as
I
black
like
and
it.
white. It could have been like a black and white noir comic, but you know, when I see the color added to it, I'm like, whoa, look, you know what I mean? Like,
I like that flip perspective where it's like the camera's in the toilet, looking out. And I just
Yeah, that's a great shot.
It is, and what I like about Roy's work here is it's like a storyboard for a movie. It's like you can really feel the camera. It's like how the camera sweeps through there, and you can get a sense for the story completely. Lots of movie atmosphere in there as well. Very, very nice.
Yeah, it's
I haven't
fantastic.
seen the colors. I remember seeing the black and white, so this is a new thing for me.
So smooth.
now, remember how I talked about crawling through Facebook and looking at people's art and stuff? Well, I just went to Vic Mendina's. and
You did
Vic's
not
got
get
art
disappointed.
here. You know what I mean? He's got colors. He's
Yeah.
got, you know,
He
he's
is
got
a
Black
man of
Panther I'm
all
looking at right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
man of all trades right there.
and then there's
So
one
there
where
he-
he's got Witchblade, where he sort of shows the process from the line work to the ink work to the flats to the final deal here. You know, so good work here, Vic.
No, thanks, man.
So this is probably it for me. As much as I can tell, I want to tell a lot, but yeah, I can't.
You don't have to
can't,
talk much. Your
unfortunately.
work speaks for itself, man. Look at that stuff. Just looks really great.
That's incredible. It reminds me, you know, Joel. I mean, you talk about it. He has like that Pepper Larraz feel to it. Like this is.
Oh, we've
This
had
is
we've
amazing.
had those Yeah, we've had those conversations.
Yeah,
He's a
this
big
is-
fan of Pepe Larraz. Yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Almost fangirling. Yeah, borderline.
Yeah.
Borderline
That's
stalker.
I think we all are. I don't know how many times I've like just analyzed panel after panel of any of his books
Uh-huh.
because he
Yeah,
really
that-
does. He's one of the
Uh,
him and Stuart Emmerman are like my favorite sequential storytellers. The two of them probably can lay out. I mean, if you look at panel work as being art, I mean, aside from the art in the panels themselves, in terms of how they arrange it, how they compose it, the shapes they use, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't think they get enough praise for how they can really just tell an effective story. But yeah, I
Yeah, we-
study it. I can't execute it.
We almost me and Jarrell are always sending each other images of their artwork. Like, hey, have you seen this? Hey, have you seen this? Just so we
I
can
do that with Roy too.
be in awe.
So-
Yeah, just so we could be in awe all the time.
Now I gotta tell you guys got some fine people in the chat that we should probably say hello to. We have Molly Mock in the chat.
Yep,
We have
yep.
Saeed in the chat. And they say
And Victor.
Molly's well aware of Action Lab. She's Saeed says Action Lab supposedly doesn't treat creators well. Yeah, that's the rumor on the street. I think that's part of the reason why Dan Mendoza left and took his property with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Victor Rufino is here. He says, "Show me the money, Roy."
I think we're all waiting for that. We don't know where that money is coming from, but Victor Rufino is a really talented artist himself. He doesn't post anything on his own personal page. We were talking about that too. He likes to be.
I hope he can
like
jump in.
Yeah, like Victor, join us.
Yeah.
He's kind of like one of these guys that's a closet artist. He like doesn't show anything on his personal page, but he posts like how to draw comics, and he has some incredible artwork.
You guys want to see another piece of incredible artwork?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah. All right.
Are
I'm
you,
going to show it to you. This is going to be the first cover for our new book coming out next year.
I already know what it is, and I'm excited.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
That's very cool.
Just looks like she's in Grand
the
Central
art?
Station.
This is done by Keith Garby, who is basically a Zenoscope legendary cover artist now.
Yeah.
And
I
he
was gonna say,
did
that
this in
artwork
like
looks
about a
really-
week. Like I hired him, and then the next week he's like, "Okay, it's done." What?
Wait.
What? And so
Well-
this is going to be like one of the main covers for our next mini series that comes out like early, right after we fulfill our current Kickstarter. We're going to launch this, and this is just one of 7 covers that's going to be a part of it. And this is a poster on my wall. I went to Staples and I said, make me a 36 by 24 size poster because this got to go on my door. You know what I mean?
Wow. Great work.
So that's pretty awesome.
Let's go.
When-
Let's solo out Pete here. Pete, tell us what you're doing right now.
I think I was just because Larry brought me in because I was actually working on a couple commissions for some stuff for a client, so I keep that private. But Larry was the one who brought me in. He said, "Hey, come on in. We got an open mic. It's a comics cast." I was like, "Oh, cool. I'll check it out." So in honor of that, I figured, and just because I've been doing commissions, so I wanted to kind of freehand something on my own. I think Larry can tell by the pigtails what teleporter this might turn into eventually. Might be a little Niobe fan art. I'm just saying.
So what do you say, Larry? What do you think?
I think I love the helmet and how the helmet has adequate room to pop out the pigtails.
I think it would have to. You're right. It's like you would have to. I think it would be dangerous just from a Department of Motor Vehicles standpoint to have all that hair inside the helmet. It wouldn't fit right. So.
See, Pete's going to start a new trend here, where we have pigtails hanging out of helmets. It's awesome.
Hey, it's drawing, right? You can draw whatever you think.
You do whatever you
fits.
want, man.
Draw whatever you want, whatever fits.
Now
the character.
Molly says that she doesn't have a body like Niobe, but I'm pretty sure that Molly is a beautiful woman. So.
This is all fair. This is fair. So, I'm watching, and it's funny too because I'm watching all these amazing sequentials and stuff like that, and I won't tell the whole story because it's long and boring. But I had done my own books 5 years ago, and I was happy with them until I reread them like 4 years ago, and I was like, wow, this is garbage. Like I really hated my own stuff. I really was really mad at myself. So I took them all away. I mean, I'd sold a bunch, but I took them, whatever was left, I took it back and I put it in a long box in the back of the closet. And I literally went back to school. I started taking, I took some storyboarding classes. I started reading some books, and I took a lot of time. And it took the pandemic and a buddy. Some of you guys may know Alan Johnson. He's out in the Pacific Northwest. He's the brains and the writing behind Kajar and Kajaria and stuff like that. He's got a lot of books out in dispensaries, on spinner racks and dispensaries and stuff like that out there. And he actually got me to do a cover for him for one of his stories, Tale of the Cannibal King. And then he asked me, he's like, hey, we're doing an anthology and I need 4 pieces of sequential art and I love your stuff. Would you be able to do it for a Monster Mania, a Monster Battle Royal kind of book? And I said, you know what? To hell with it. Yeah. I'm gonna, yeah. And I just submitted them to him. I could actually, if you guys want a sneak peek, I could probably share a screen.
Share a
Yeah.
screen,
Let's
brother.
do it.
We have, by
And-
the way, in the chat, brilliant artist, guy I really want to work with at some point soon. His name is
HF.
Jim O'Reilly.
Oh my God, yeah. Listen, let me
Jim,
show
join
my
us.
stuff before. Let me show my stuff before Jim shows his, because Jim is absolutely friggin' phenomenal. Okay, I Jim stuff. I am envious of Jim stuff so much. I'm gonna definitely chop up his brain and peek in and try to learn some stuff from him. Let me get this. I haven't worked on StreamYard in a couple weeks, so I'm slow. This is page 1 of what I'm working on. I'm
let
a
me
very
let me get you started.
yeah.
Hold
Do
on.
your thing. I'm a very
There you
old
go.
school inker. Now I wanted to do it traditionally, but getting everything mailed out in this day and age right now, shipping to the Pacific Northwest is not really what I want to do. So I inked them digitally, which I've actually was really happy with. And the good news is we're getting our buddy, some of you may know the name, I know Larry does, our buddy Phil Leon will be getting these handed over to him to do the coloring in a few weeks. So I was in contact, which was really cool knowing who was coloring ahead of time, because I got with Phil, because I drew them myself and then I inked them myself. I was like, Phil, I wanted to work with his style so he could get his groove on too with the stuff that I did. So I kind of inked it, not simply, but I kind of did my thing because I like heavy blacks and things like that. But I also give him, I know Phil's style, so I gave him a lot of room to play with a lot of things. And so he could really, I was like, I'm going to give you some wide open backgrounds so you could have a lot of fun. And in the writing in the book, there's, it's gory. It's definitely got a B-movie, slasher film, blood and guts all over the kind of place, and that's actually well within Phil's wheelhouse. So I was like, Phil, I left some things wide open for you to just really break out your box of crayons and go crazy with the blood and guts. So it was really fun to communicate with the colorist on, and just really try to build the page so that we could both work really, instead of him just filling in my blanks. We kind of work together. So I'm like, okay, I left this here like this for you, so you could do this. He goes, yeah, and do that, so I could do this. And I'm really excited about the entire project.
What's the name of the
Jim
project
O'Reilly
again?
says it looks great, and he says
Oh,
you
thank you.
guys are too kind.
Jim came on a stream of mine. I did a show during the pandemic, and I started showing us his pages. Thank you, Jim. And a bunch of us, all artists, are sitting there going, and we told him that we had, and y'all know who Master Kim, right? Mr. Kim Jung-ji is? The Korean
Yes,
gentleman,
yes.
I believe.
Yep.
He just does
of
ink
course.
brush things like from brains. We all sit there. I sit there and we make the joke that we'll watch Master Kim for like 10 minutes, and the first 3 minutes is just you're in awe, and then the rest of the time you're sitting there going, "Well, I'm going to quit art because I'm never going to be that." So we were making, my buddy Angel and I, who's another digital artist doing some covers, turned around and said, "You know what? I just saw Jim O'Reilly stuff, and I don't need to draw anymore because the word that popped into my head right now is magical." Jim stuff is magical. So.
Piece like that's it. I quit. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm just gonna go. Work construction and press on and sling breadsticks the rest of my life because Jim's just an absolute master. But what I really, and then I'll use this as a segue. What I really enjoy most about Jim too is that we talked about this a little bit, and I guess it's the Eastern philosophy for both of us. And Jim, you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Just we're always learning, and I think the best artist or a good artist at the very least is always learning. You're always taking a class, you're always reading a book, you're always trying something new so you can sharpen what you already have and maybe put a few new tricks in the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
True.
And I'll say this now that I have the opportunity, Gerald, I am dying just for fun. Just because I adore your drawing style, and I draw the line work that you do with the pencil and stuff like that. I've been dying to try my hand at inking one of your pieces.
Are you crazy? I don't even like
Yes.
inking my own.
I'm batshit insane. So I would I'm sorry, I would adore to do that.
Well, I might be able to help you out there a little later on.
Get in line.
You let me know. I would love just like I said, just for fun, just for a gas, and then who knows what it might lead to.
Jim
Absolutely,
says
yeah.
Gerald is a beast.
He is. He absolutely is. I agree with that.
Whatever. Yeah, I scribble. That's it. I'm very messy.
That's why I want to ink it.
I'm the opposite of Roy. Roy is refined. He's polished. He's a diamond. I'm a piece of coal.
Yeah,
How you artists always compare each other, like compare yourselves to each other, right? And it's all very kind what you guys say to each other. You're all very flattering, but the truth of the matter is that each and every one of you brings something different to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every time someone puts, pencil to paper, they're bringing something to the table that is truly unique to that individual.
That is true.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think
Alfred Pennyworth is here. He says Gerald is modest. He really is a beast.
Well,
yeah, I'm actually, Larry is like, I keep on wanting to call you Niobe, but
Let's call me
do you want to be
Niobe.
called
Everyone
Niobe or do you want
does.
to be called
bring
Larry?
bring me an Iobi.
Yeah.
You don't want me to play that line.
Well, I just don't know if you're used to being called Niobe or.
Oh,
or
everyone
Larry.
does it. I answer to it now. It's
Okay.
like, yeah.
Right.
All right, guys.
What were you gonna
I
say?
need- That's gonna be it because I got a convention tomorrow. I got LA
Yeah,
Comic
come
Con
on,
tomorrow. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
that's
to
right.
step out.
Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. I've got a couple
Yeah,
buddies
there
at
really
Emerald.
is.
I got a couple buddies at Emerald City, which is what on my bucket list. I got
Well, I
waiting
guess
listed.
it's the end of the year, right? So you're gonna do your shows. This is gonna be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody's trying to squeeze them in right now.
Tell us about LA Comic Con and where they can find you there.
I'm just gonna be walking the floor. And,
Oh, cool.
I got my ticket late, so I'm just gonna be walking around, seeing who's gonna be there. Just networking.
Yeah, that's a blast. See, when I go to a con, I'm never at my table. Like, I'm the worst guy. It's like I'm supposed to sit behind a table and sell books, and no one can ever find me because why? I'm out trying to get autographs from like Todd McFarlane and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I'd rather
think,
just
Larry,
go to a
that's
con
the
and
thing.
walk around myself, to be honest with you, hand out a few books, shake a few hands, you know what I mean? That sort of
Yes.
stuff, you know?
Yeah,
Well, you're a fan as well as a creator.
yeah.
And Nick,
yeah.
before you go, can we share what I think you're.
Oh,
did you
let
drop?
me see if I can get it back up real quick.
Jim O'Reilly
Yeah,
says, best of luck at the show, Vic Medina.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you, Jim.
Who do I know that's going to be at LA?
Let's see if
You
I
know
can-
Vic is going to be there.
Well, yeah, but everybody. I got 3 guys at Emerald City, so look, our buddy Bun is going to be at Emerald City, Larry.
Yeah, man.
He's got a huge end cap 3-sided booth kind of thing going on.
I need to talk to him for the next campaign for Chibis.
We actually joked about that. He asked me, he's like, "You think Larry's going to hit me up for something for his next Kickstarter?" And I was like, without talking to him about it, I can yes.
No, you can tell him yes. It's just a matter of when. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he drives, so he drove from here on the East Coast. He's basically been on tour. He hasn't been home in weeks. He's been on tour driving to con because he's just an absolute machine. So when he comes back home, I'll give him a ring and I'll let him know.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
I'll bring him into a chat one day, onto a stream one day with us, or something.
I'm having trouble reconnecting, so I'm just gonna have to post it. I'll put it in the art
Okay.
shows that way everyone can see.
Okay.
Well, listen, man, you have a good
Connected.
show, and it's good to meet you, brother. I sent you a little
All right,
friend
man.
request.
Yeah,
All
sounds
right,
good.
Vic. Good luck
All right,
tomorrow.
everyone.
You-
Have a good
Have
one.
fun at the
All
con,
Thank you,
bro.
man. Thanks, man.
Very cool. See you later.
And then there was 4.
Well, we're gonna try and get Jim. Jim, come on,
That'd be
on.
great.
Let me post. I'm gonna
Post
put
a link in the chat there so he can grab it.
Yeah. Let's get Jim in here.
See, I told a couple clients too, around the end of August, because con season people usually think is beginning of spring, summer, and that's true. But I've told people, it's like, listen, September's kind of a little bit of a lull, but the things hit really hard, and there's some big shows October, November, December. I mean, New York Comic Con, Anime NYC, Emerald City, LA, C2E2, and there's just I think Anime Expo is right now. Anime Frontier is this weekend also. There's just some big shows in the fall, winter, and like Larry said, it's absolutely true. People are getting ready for, you know, the end of the year and the holidays and all that stuff. And then, boom! Next thing you know, February comes. You just got done putting the Christmas tree down, if that's your thing, and it's con season again.
Yeah.
So
I'm just so happy that cons are happening again. You know, 'cause
I'm ecstatic.
I know that. I think Pete used to go to. I think I had a conversation with you. You were like a con like groupie. You were hitting cons like everywhere.
Well,
weren't you?
it's I had a table at before the pandemic and everything. My last show was C2E2. My last show before the pandemic was C2E2 2020, and the year before 2019, I had done my most ever. I had tabled at 44 shows, both local and big. So I had had a presence, and what was cool was for about 15 of those, because I was with myself for most of those. My business partner Brendan, my buddy, my best friend, he stayed kind of local, so we ended up doing about, I'd say 10 of those together out here, New York, Long Island, and then he did a couple random ones like when I was out traveling, like out of state in Boston or Chicago or something like that. He did a couple local ones here. So like I'd be at Baltimore one weekend, and then the next weekend I'd be back home at something in the city, or both of us would be, or he'd be in the city and be like, "Oh, I just saw you in Baltimore." "Oh no, that was the other half." Blah blah blah. And people are like, "Jesus, you guys are everywhere." Well, you know, two fat guys, you know, we kick up a lot of space.
The con is not big enough for both of you. You have to go to separate con.
Dude, let me tell you, we got a 10x10. We leveled up to a 10x10 corner booth at New York Comic Con this year, which was a dream come true. Okay, absolutely. And we overestimated the size, because you figured 10x10, that's 100 square feet. That's plenty of room. That's going to be great. We forgot to factor in our displays, 2 8-foot tables, blah blah blah. So, it's 4 days. It's New York Comic Con. So he works on mini canvases, you know, stuff like the size of my phone here, maybe a little bit, you know, postcard size, business card size paintings. I usually do 6x6s or 8x8s, and then plus all our prints and other things that we have in comic books. Actually, Niobe was on my table at New York Comic Con. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But he brought about 200 mini canvases with him, and I brought I think it was like 135 canvases with me. I went home with 5 canvases. He went home with like 6.
Good sales. You had like lots of...
It was the weirdest thing, because it was New York Comic Con is usually a monster, but this year was just, the vibe was, it was like, and I this is maybe Larry and Gerald, maybe you guys will, it was an old school Comic Con vibe, because Marvel, DC, Funko, all the big names weren't there. So it was a lot of indie guys. It was a lot of artists. It was a lot of, you know, first timers and stuff like that. Like, we were the veterans there, because we'd been there since 2013 behind the table. So we were like one of the veterans. But it was so cool. It was such an old school Comic Con vibe, you know. It wasn't like a paparazzi show. It was, you know, just this.
Yeah, like this. Kind of like what San Diego has become. San Diego has become kind of like a. It's been commercialized, and it's like sometimes it's almost all about the cosplayers. Not that I mind cosplayers, but I think they've definitely can really impact a show now. I mean, a con. It's like
I have a different opinion on that. And because I hear from a lot of the local stuff, I hear that, and that's a great topic. I've actually had this conversation on a stream before, and we had a long talk about it. I've been at local shows, you know, 2,000 person show, and where a lot of the guys, it's normally the guys who sell slabs and key issues and stuff like that don't like the cosplayers, because the cosplayer maybe isn't exactly looking for that key issue of New Mutants, first appearance of Red Wolf or whatever the hell it is, in a 7.8 near mint, you know.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like the cosplayer aspect of it. I just saying that it's become a very, like you said, old school cons being about comics and stuff like that.
Well,
Um,
here's the thing, but here's the thing. Not every show is the same. First and foremost, let me and I'm explaining, and I'll die on this hill. I have no problem with it. Cosplayer is just like the guy buying comics going through a long box. They pay for their admission. Okay, so them being there is making the show have a next year. So let's get that out of the way right away. Secondly, and maybe it's different for me out here in New York where we have a lot of stuff going on. If you want your VFW long box Comic Con where there's not really too many cosplayers, if any at all, that exists still. In fact, there's a really good one this weekend here in New Jersey. That's in a smaller venue, and it's comics. Like if I had a great cosplay, I wouldn't be going to that. I'd be like, fuck, I'd be like, hell, I'm going to Emerald City. So, and then again, like you said before, San Diego, hey, or later in the year in DC, Katsucon or something like that. Hey, do you cosplay? That's where you're going. And then New York has kind of become kind of a pop cultural kind of thing where it's a little bit of Comic-Con, it's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of that. So it is what it is, and it's whatever, and it's cool. But there's different shows for different, like if you like cosplay, you don't like cosplay, or if you don't, I just want to get my comics, there's shows for that. So I don't understand. Cosplayers pay to be there. They pay their money. Their existence is helping us have shows. It's not even a draw. It used to be just a draw. It's now it pays for these shows to, like, these shows exist because they know there he is.
Hey,
these shows exist now because they know, okay, we're gonna get blah 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 from the cosplay community, and that's gonna help us. Like a local show here on Long Island, Eternal Con, their cosplay contest, and they have tables for cosplayers because they know it's a draw. And now Bob and Sally, who have 3 kids, and Bob might have liked Superman when he was a kid. Hey, let's go to the Comic-Con thing, and the kids can take a picture with Wonder Woman. It's a draw. It is a draw. Absolutely.
I would have to say
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yes, we got Jim on the show.
Good job.
Yeah, I got to go. Hey, nice.
See ya, boys.
Thanks for showing up, Jim.
He's made the appearance. He can go now.
I got
That's all that matters.
I got questions to ask Jim.
Yeah.
So Jim, a while back, you really had heartbroken me. Like I was sad when I saw a post that you said that you were out, that you were done, that you weren't going to do comics anymore. And then, this is a while back. And then you started showing art again. And I was okay. And then I messaged you, and I'm like, "Are you back?" And you're like, "Yeah, man, I'm back." So what happened, Jim? Is basically my question.
Well, I never said I was leaving. I said I was just taking a kind of a
break,
sabbatical, because unfortunately I'm no longer on the Mojo Rising origin book, and the whole situation that went down was really
I don't even know anything about that, Jim. So okay. I'm not going to ask you about that because I don't know.
That's fine. And I'm okay with the guys, in terms of whatever they want to do. Obviously, it's their property and their choice, and they're welcome to do that. I was really bummed in that I had spent a good year or more on putting a lot of love into that character in that book, and I think some of the things I was doing was taken wrong, taken the wrong way. And then there was one situation that happened with the writer and the co-creator of the character, and so I needed some time just to kind of, I get introspective. I look and see, well, what the hell did I do? What could I have done different? What did I do wrong? What can I fix? Where do I move on from there? And so you guys know, it was a book that I wasn't getting paid for. I wasn't getting paid for any of that work. So it's not like it was like a contractual thing or anything like that. So, on my end, there's no money involved other than, money and time that I invested in it. But I did that because I loved the character. So, all that said, you just needed to take a break. It wasn't really like I was, quitting comics. It was just a really bad, ugly situation that kind of just had me take a step back and kind of think about it for a minute.
So what are you working on now? What's been the haps, man?
I'm working on a creator-owned book. I'm kind of slowly doing that. You guys, I don't know if you're aware, I'm only part-time when I do art. So I work a full-time job, and my full-time job takes a lot out of me. It's very, it's physical, it's demanding. So when I get home, I'm like, ugh, some days I don't want to draw. And, I just can't make it to the board uh, because I'm literally like out out for the count. Um, so I do it part time. So I'm working on a creator-owned thing. I'm trying to get out of the full-time job. There is kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. I've been in the same industry for over like 23 years. So I make a really good salary. So for me to leave that salary and do comics where I'm not going to make as good a salary isn't like, you know, it's a leap of faith in some ways. But it's not going to it won't financially destroy me, but I have a severance package that may come. So I wanted to kind of like hold off. So I have that kind of in the bank and I can then take on projects and not have to like stress so much about things. Not that it'll be a real huge stress, but it'll be stress nonetheless. And I don't want to stress out my wife. She loves and supports what I do.
It's a hard grind, comic books, kid, man. Even
yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
it's a
talented
grind.
like Jim O'Reilly, it's a hard grind. You know
It's
what I mean?
funny. Jim says he's part-time at it, and then I'll see a pinup or a page that he does, and I'm like, you did that part-time, and
Yeah,
I could put like 2 weeks of doing that nonstop.
Stop.
And it's dude.
I appreciate that, but everybody's journey is different.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. I mean, we all have similarities that we draw from, but everybody's journey is different. Everybody's art is different. I spent a lot of time beating myself up, and I'm trying to get away from doing that. We all see our art. I always tell people see my art and they love it. It's great. That's fantastic. I appreciate that. Don't take that wrong. But I see my art where I want it to be, and it's never quite there. And I think that's what we as artists struggle with. We see our art where we want it to go, and it's never quite there. And that's a good thing in that it keeps us driven to try to improve. But it could become a negative thing if you let it like crush you. And I was doing that for a while. I was like letting it really kind of kick me in the special spot. Pretty rough.
Jim, I'm gonna talk about. I mean, I have to say that I kind of heard through the grapevine about some of the drama, but to me, I kind of put that in a box and I sort of said, you know what, that's happened, and when I saw what you were doing and what we took a step back, and then when I saw what you're doing afterwards, I have to say that you have your new studio. I saw you got that. In the background. You redid that. When we had you on Let It Out, you kind of hinted at like you were trying to do some sculpting, and I've seen you've done that, and I've seen your sculptures, and not only that, I think now, now that you're not on that other creator IP, you're doing your own IP. So I'm gonna have to say that it's kind of a little bit of I'm gonna say it's a blessing in disguise, because now you can pursue something that's much closer to you. Not that you weren't emotionally invested in that other project, but
no, Gerald, let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Let me stop you though. I was very emotionally I was given a lot of creative freedom with the origin story, so I was very vested in that character. Like that, I love. If I'm telling you right now, those guys said, "Hey, we want you back on," I'd stop what I'm doing. I'd jump back on it.
Right.
And it's because I really love the character. I love the idea of the character. I love where the ideas were going. I think sometimes people get caught up in, some of their personal issues, and people are emotional and passionate about what they do, which I completely understand. But sometimes it makes them make really poor decisions without talking it out, without taking it. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and I appreciate that. That I'm on my own thing, and you can sense the passion in that. But there's still that, I work on things that I like to work on, because otherwise it's crap. Otherwise I'm just going to produce crap. But even the sculpting part, I was sculpting to learn to sculpt so that I would understand what materials would ship, because I wanted to do a tier in the Mojo Origins where a person could purchase a one-of-a-kind statue, but I wanted to make sure that first of all I can sculpt, you know, and that somebody would actually want to buy the thing because I'm new to it, and I wanted to give them something that wasn't gonna, you know, show up at their door like broken in pieces and whatnot. So I sculpted a lot of things that weren't related to Mojo because I didn't want to show crap on Mojo. I wanted, you know, if it's a horrible Venom, hey, it's a horrible Venom. Who cares? You know, I mean, I don't own Venom, or I don't work on Venom. So,
Well,
you know, I just
wanna
think
say
that
yeah,
things that I was doing that didn't seem related to Mojo were related to Mojo, and I think that it was misunderstood. But then on my end, I didn't clarify that enough, and I didn't make that clear enough. So, you know, I hold no, like I said, I hold no will with the guys. I hope that character becomes a success for them. I hope, you know, they do really well. There were other issues with other people that had nothing really to do with me, but you know, I can dislike. I could dislike what someone does. It doesn't mean I have to dislike the person. Like if I have, like, I can't stand Larry, but you know, Larry and I talk. Well, no, I'm kidding, Larry. But you know,
Who's your daddy, Jim?
yeah, who's your daddy? No, but seriously, like I can still, I could disagree with people and yet still see the good in people. You know what I mean? And I try not to let other people's situations mar my impression of someone. You know what I mean? Unless it's something of like totally, you know, if we're talking about a serial rapist or something, you know, obviously. But, you know, if we're talking about, hey, I had a bad fallout with this guy in a business deal, but, you know, I've interacted with the guy and he's been nothing but good to me, I'm going to continue talking to that person. You know what I mean?
Amen.
I'll learn my lesson the hard way if I have to. You know, that's what we all do.
You know, don't get me wrong, because when I had you on the show, we talked about Mojo, and I knew that you were. I'm just saying that I know you wouldn't have been working on it if you weren't emotionally invested in the character. But I'm just saying that like it's good that you said that, you know, there's no bridges burned. You could go back if it was one of those type of things. But I'm just going to say that you also, I look at it too. It's sort of now you have that opportunity to do something, do your own Mojo. I mean, this is like your own thing. And that's what I think is really cool about, you know, I think the independent community, it's like there's so much room for you to tell your own story. And I'm just trying to think of the positive thing that could come out of this. And
well, one of the positive things, I did talk to Raj and I said, you know, hey, what about the art and stuff like that? And he's like, well, it's your art. Do what you want with it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking some of the art and I'm repurposing it for my book, because I spent a lot of hours on things, and the character I'm using initially will tie into a team book that I'm working on. So, not to give out too many spoilers, you won't see this character for long. But it's like he's like a Tibetan Conan. How's that? You know,
Conan.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's me.
It's
It's me.
So it's like this like magical world, but it will tie into the team book that I have called Junkyard Dogs, and that'll be really my own IP. And I may bring this Tengu character, because Tengu I've had, like, I just never done with anything with him. But I may bring him back into the Junkyard Dogs when I'm done with that. But yeah, for right now, I'm just telling his story to kind of launch into the Junkyard Dogs book. So I'm repurposing some of the art. You know, not all of it. There are certain pages that I spent a lot of time on that I could just tweak the character, so to speak, and you know, it's, you know, gives me still that passion to keep doing the magical stuff. So.
Yeah, keep on doing. I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's really neat to see that, or it's really great to see that you're doing art again, because I read the same thing that Larry did, and I was like, man. But I wanted to reach out to you, but I knew that you kind of said you wanted to take a step back and you need some space, and so I respected that. And when
I appreciate that.
When you started posting art again and your sculptures, I was like, yeah, he's back. He's back. Jim is back with a vengeance. It's so cool to see that.
I didn't ever plan on like leaving totally. I just it was just soul crushing a little bit. So and I needed to honestly take a look, because this is the second time that like something like this has happened to me with Creative Team, and I really thought that it wouldn't happen again, and it did. I'm like, okay, maybe the common denominator is me. Maybe I'm doing something, and yes, I take a long time because I did not want to work on that
Okay.
project when I was tired or exhausted. I wanted it to be, because the art was representative of me. I wanted it to be good. I wanted people to really enjoy it. But that, I think, is a mistake in some ways, because I'm overreaching for that perfection. I'm never going to hit it. None of us are ever going to hit it. Sometimes we just got to know when to walk away from a piece and say, okay, this is done, and it's good, and
Amen to
it's,
that.
yeah, and people will enjoy it, and it still tells a story.
See,
So it's a learning process for me, and it's always been a learning process. It'll continue to be a learning process. I never want to burn bridges along the way, and hopefully that didn't happen. But I in some ways I think it did. But
see, Jim, when I also, like Larry and Gerald, saw, okay, he's taking a step back. But you and I have had, and this was a while ago, you and I had a conversation, and it was an art conversation. It was in a stream of mine. It was an art conversation, but it was also because we had some similar Eastern philosophies that we kind of stick with. And I was like, when I read that, I was like, okay, cool. He's taking a little break. He's breathing. He's thinking, and he's in his head. And then he's going to come back, and he's way too creative to not come back and do something else. Now, honestly, I was like, he could come back and decide that he's now a floral designer, but he's coming back. I wasn't concerned about that. Yeah, you see, there you go. Yeah, floral design. Yeah, see that. But I wasn't.
He's doing floral design. You didn't know that?
I didn't want to. I didn't want to break the ice too bad, but
proud of him. He was doing it.
My bad. I'm so bad at that. I'm sorry, but yeah, man. A
couple good things have come out of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you and I have the same. You and I also talked about having the same, and this was a whole different situation. The same philosophy of, listen, we're not in middle school. I'm not going to tell you who to be. I'm not going to tell you who to be friends with. And if I see two people that I know getting into it, guess what, guys? I'm not in it at all. I'm going to go over here and play in my coloring book. You guys do whatever it is to do. One guy, I'm going to talk to you about what I talk to you about all the time. And the other person, I'm going to talk to you about whatever he's talking about. And as soon as you guys start with the bullshit, I'm walking away. Moving on. And that's it.
It's sad when things like that ruin friendships. And it depends on your level too of tolerance of things and what
Fair.
you want to tolerate and what you want to, have in your life, and how much time you want to spend on that. For me, it was mostly the fact that I would say like 99.9% was just the fact that I was crushed, that I didn't see it coming. And maybe the shock of it and the surprise.
The surprise, the surprise.
Yeah. I understand that I took a long time, but like I said, again, it wasn't like any time I was doing something in one way, shape, or form, it had to do with wanting to promote that character. Like, even if I was doing a cover for somebody else, it was because I wanted to get on to their show to be able to talk about it. And hey, here's a way of interact. It's kind of like, fair trade, and hey, I'll do this for you. You have me on your show to talk about, but hey, that's fine. That works.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes things like that aren't seen that way. I guess. So, and again, it comes back to my inability to communicate that. I didn't communicate it well enough, and things needed, I guess, to be done the way they were done. So, I gotta move on from that. But
yeah. Let's talk about the future, though. So
hell yeah.
Well, I've got.
Hey, want to share some art?
Yeah, sure. I'll show you the. I know I posted this picture of the warrior.
Show them those Christmas wreaths that you've been making.
Oh, you know what, Pete? I didn't want that out yet.
My bad.
I know, you've been this ruining.
Let me share my screen. I'm sorry. Let me. Let's see. Share. I'm a boomer. Actually, I'm just tired. Share. There you go.
Oh, what, Roy? Would you have to say something?
Yeah, I have to. Nice.
Oh, okay.
Good night, Roy. Good seeing you again.
Yeah.
Roy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take up any of your time.
Oh, sorry. Love to the family and to the baby.
Oh, Roy, before you leave, I wanted to show you something. Let me show you what I'm drawing before you leave. Let me just show this. This is what I've been kind of doodling in the background. You guys have been watching Arcane?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, this is my my version of Jinx. Still working on it, but it was fun. It was, so I wanted to show that I was drawing too in the background. So
I really
anyway.
want to ink something of yours.
Yeah,
It'll
I
I
it'll
know
happen.
that
It'll
feeling.
happen.
I know that feeling. Trust me. I got a piece that I'm still afraid to touch of Gerald's. I started touching it, but I had to put it
I
down.
want to. Dude, I want to eat a big special brownie and sit down with the ink and just play with one of Gerald's
Yeah.
pieces.
Yep. But here's the thing I discovered, right? Like, I'm not an inker by trade or anything like that. I hate inking. It's like the one part of the thing, but I'll do it on other people's art sometimes just to get the practice of their lines. And
That's fair.
what with Jero's, the piece that I took, I noticed that I lost some of the kinetics to it, and that happens, But when it happens on someone else's art that you really like, you're like, oh no, I stop right here. Put the pencils down, everybody, pencils down.
Well, that's what I said. That's what the brownie's for. So that doesn't,
Well,
maybe I need to brown it.
Yeah. Anyway, Roy, we'll catch up. It's like
right.
what is it, like 1 p.m. over there? So
1
thank you for being here. All right, we'll catch up later. I'll see you later.
See you next Friday.
Thank you for sharing your art. Thank you for sharing your
Peace
art.
out, brother.
Bye, Roy. Good seeing you again.
Down to 4.
What an absolutely fantastic
We
game.
were 4. That's right.
Yeah.
I want to see what Jim's
So,
doing now.
I need to
Yeah. Let's see what
shave.
Jim's doing. Let me add that to the stream. Look at that character. When I first
Oh
saw
yeah,
this
I've seen this.
character,
Yeah.
I thought it was like your version of like a female Loki character. But it had so much more attitude to it. I love the
Love the
chin. The
her
chin.
stance. Yeah, just really nice.
It's the stand, absolutely, but then you get to that chin where you're getting more neck than usual, and she's absolutely looking down on you, but on a wire. Like
Yes.
you can see just from the line starts at the middle of her face, and the line goes straight to your face, but she's looking absolutely down on you, and it's
Yes.
it's
That's
got
the feeling
such
I want,
presence.
yeah.
Oh no, you nailed it. It's the
Good.
presence. She
Yeah.
has such presence and stance.
This was the original
look at-
like rough. These are roughs. Of the
His
story.
roughs
Those
are
are roughs.
better than mine.
Those are,
His,
yeah.
his roughs are better than my normals.
Where is she? Where
Great
is she? Where is she?
bastard.
All right, so
Wow.
I'll give you a quick synopsis. This orc guy kills this elven king, takes his head off here. I don't know if you can read that in this. I don't know if you guys can even see my cursor, but in this panel, he's ripping off the head here of the king, and he gets, somebody says in the background, that's enough, and he's like, who dares? And of course, it's the princess here, and this was the original rough for. So I had to like change some angle and stuff. I knew the presence. I wanted her to kind of like stand there, like, yeah, what's up, And she's actually the queen, so he's like, oh shit, blah blah blah.
What did I do?
What's that? Oh, yeah,
I was like thinking that guy's like, what did I do? I pissed
yeah,
off
yeah.
the
Well,
queen.
he's like, no. Now he's kind of like, oh no, it's her. So he kneels down and on the silhouetted screen, and then of course she says, oh, you did well, and then she cuts his head off.
Oh,
and
that's the end of his story. He won't be in this. He won't be in issue.
no, he won't. And then because he had originally pulled the head off of the Elven King and threw it at his people and said, find me his daughter, basically. And so she did the same thing to him, basically tears his head off. And in this panel,
Wow.
she's saying to them, hey guys, get out there, and I don't know if you could read that chicken scratch, but
Yeah,
I've got a lot of. So I'm tying in like all the old Mojo stuff will be tied in, but I obviously have a lot of art changes to do.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how that's all gonna meld
Well,
together.
Tengu
Yeah,
kind of looks a bit, long, scraggly hair, Conan type character. So like, I have him
I
with
see
the
what you're
armor
doing.
on the one arm, so it's basically
Yeah.
the same character. So I'm tying in. I honestly, my conscience is like, don't do it. Just start fresh and start over. But this really story is just going to tie into these guys. These guys here. The junkyard.
Yeah,
guy.
I remember
and-
seeing this.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's my Tengu mask. Wrong one. Let's see if I can pull reference. These are some of the roughs on these guys.
Wow.
So this is Tech. She's just ignore the arms. They're not going to be a part of her character. She's just like she basically keeps her brother alive. Her brother is, if I have him in here, let's see. Her brother is Mace. This guy.
Mhm.
He's like the big
Kind of a-
armored. He's nothing
the brute-
basically, but
brute
he's a brain and a stem inside of a mechanical suit, and even like his face is all. It's just mechanical. It's not. It looks human, but it's really not. And she just keeps him alive, moving him from suit to suit to suit.
That's
because
got a
of what
Full
happened.
Metal Alchemist vibe to it.
Not familiar with him.
Uh,
Heard of it, but I don't know this. So I've never watched. Okay.
You
Damn
got a
it,
crossover
somebody
there.
does
You
something.
No. You completely twisted it, but it still has that, family taking care of one guy who's strapped
Yes.
in a suit of armor. So you,
Okay.
you got your
Yeah, but I
crossover.
mean, his armor is going to change over and over. Like as one piece gets destroyed, one armor gets destroyed, she'll create a new one, and eventually I'll slim him down. And
That's
then,
so awesome.
I have Machine Gun Mandy. She just has these like alien bracelets that she wears on her wrists, and basically they turn into these like holographic guns, sort of. So they like, she just like Shotgun Man, she just like shoots things up. Basically, she's a shooter character.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, because and this is we're art question.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're building your world for these characters and everything like that. Now, I'm not even worried about story, but each individual character's story and how they tie in together. Have you gone like really deep with that, or is it ongoing? Or I'm trying to get into. I'm trying to pick your brain and get into your process a little bit.
I've had all the characters for many years, like the ideas of the characters, like Warp. He's like a kind of an alien being that basically manipulates liquid methane to teleport. Like he charges it and it allows him to teleport, and he could charge it for like a long period of time. So like he could charge like a cell for like 2 years that you could have it, and then you could use it. So I've had like character development. I'm just putting him now into a story line, and yes, I have an origin, middle, end of where they're going. This basically, the Junkyard Dogs are kind of like a group of characters that were charged to save the world and failed, and they each took a hit in a certain way. Some more than others. Like these two had their child stolen from them, basically. And so they've each taken a hit in a certain way, and their story is kind of like they get a second chance to do it to save the world again, but now they're like, well, do we really want to after what happened the first time? And that's kind of what I want the reader to think of, how which kind of goes into the whole the whole story of what just happened to me, I guess. Kind of like you get, what are you going to do with this situation? In this bad situation, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to come back with
Art imitating life. Look at that.
Right.
Well,
and are some of them actually going to come back is the question, and to what degree? So yes, I do. To answer your question, yes, I do have like an overarching story. The details I'll kind of go in as I'm drawing and do, and then I'll eventually just go in and write the actual story and letter it. Like I have ideas of what's being said on each page, you know what I mean, and what's happening on each page, so I can go in and add the dialogue afterwards. I mean, to me, that's kind of how I have to do it.
That's called the Marvel style.
Yeah, I can't sit and write a script and say panel 1. That's not happening for me. I go in there and I'm like, okay, this is a general idea, and start drawing, and then I go, oh wait, I need another page in here because I got to tell this, or I've got too many pages, I got to delete this one. So it's a learning curve for me because this is really a big project that I've wanted to do on my own, and wanted to kind of develop, but now with the whole situation and being able to have some time to do it, I have other projects though that I'm being offered at the moment, and I can't say what they are. So I don't know if I'm going to, and they're paid projects. I did work for an individual who now wants me to do a book, and I really like the storyline, and he is a phenomenal inker, and I can't say too much more than that, other than I may have to stop with this and go with the paid work. I don't know yet.
So is that a thing though, Jim? Like you don't ink your own work? Is that what I'm hearing?
No. Generally, I ink my own stuff. Like I'm gonna ink this piece now, and yeah, I just hate inking, but
Yeah,
I really
I hear
haven't
ya.
had too many inkers. You know,
Hey, how you doing? Hey, how
I've
are
had
you?
some.
Hey,
I've had
hi,
some.
how are
I've had some inkers offer and do stuff like they'll grab a piece and they'll ink it, and it's great. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like on the fence with it because I have to get the pencil lines for myself to ink so tight that I'm just like, okay, I might as well just ink this myself. Like,
Well, that's what I would prefer
you know,
if I was
yeah.
to hire you for anything that you would draw it and
Yeah.
ink it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
This opportunity that I have is just penciling, which I think I could be a lot quicker on and looser on. I'd have to like free up doing some of the tightness to a degree because the inker that he has lined up potentially has had professional experience, has done it for many years. So he should be able to read the looser type lines a little better and tighten things up. So it'll depend. I'll probably send him like a sample page to just say, hey, can you work off this? Which is kind of hard. It's weird, Larry. It's kind of hard to let go and not ink it. It's kind of weird.
Well, every drawing
both
is
are
like
a
your
challenge.
baby. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's kind of like it's like your kid. It's like, is it ready?
So when do you think this is gonna debut? Do you think it's gonna be like end of next year or?
He wants to start soon. Actually, he started doing the scripting for it. He's going to send reference for certain. I think for the first chapter of it, it's a big book. It'll be, I think, like 62 pages. I don't want to say the genre yet because I don't know how much he wants. But really good guy. I did a kind of a commission piece for him not too long ago, and he really enjoyed it. And everything worked out good. And so hopefully it'll work out, and we'll go from there.
Well,
But,
it's a
yeah.
Jim O'Reilly piece. What's there not to like, right? That's the way I look
I'm
at
not
it.
commenting. No comment.
Damn straight. We'll comment
comment.
for you.
No comment. Yeah, and then I'm doing another commission double page spread for someone that, again, I can't say what it is, but I gotta say it's one of the most unique and fun, kind of fun, and kind of in my style, but not in my style at the same time. If that makes sense.
That's totally.
That does make sense to me.
Like I would draw things a certain way, but the characters that I'm doing wouldn't lend well totally to my style. I have to kind of go with a little bit more of a cartoonish style, if that makes it. Kind of like I'm thinking like I got to go with a Joe Mad type thing where it's like it looks realistic, but yet it's got that cartoon or animation type.
It's
style,
got that anime style, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a fun challenge for a double page spread. It really is. It's a fun challenge, and I'm having a blast with it. So that one I'll be penciling. Yeah. Definitely.
Have fun with what you're doing. Otherwise, it's not worth doing, right?
It's true. This is true.
Well, unless it pays really well.
How about you guys? What are you guys working on? What do you have in the books and coming up?
Oh, you missed
Sorry,
Niobe or Larry was dropping some really serious art for like his book.
Yeah, Larry's the good start.
Drop again, Larry. Drop again.
Oh, I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah, I know it's a lot like work.
I'm sure you've seen because Jim, you're on my Facebook, so anything I'm going to show you've already seen. But I'll let me see.
Thank you. I'm going to interrupt you for a quick second, Niobe, only because I have to. Ben Ferrari in the chat wrote, Jim, don't you have a new book in stores? Yes, I do. Sorry, Ben. I do have a book in stores right now in comic shops.
What's it called?
It's a book that I did a while back. I don't know how many years ago. Feels like a long time ago. Called The Carriers with Ben Ferrari. It's a book about carrier pigeons. I did like the first
Oh.
12 pages.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
they're
that.
your- yes,
I
yes,
have
I did.
seen that.
What company?
It's through Red 5 Comics. That's the comic company that got it out there and got it into stores. And Ben is the creator, and I believe him and Erica J. Heflin wrote the story, and I did like the first 12 pages of that book. It was when I was first getting back into comics. Ben was gracious enough to give me a shot in a book, and like he printed it himself under his own studio, Pilot Studios, and then it got picked up just recently and put in comic stores. So if you guys have a chance, go ask your local comic book shop. There's going to be, I believe, 5 of the old series, and he's working on a new series, I think, now. So
Very
of the
cool.
book. So yeah. It's cool to see that. I love the carriers. It was a really cool concept, and it's good to see them take flight, as it were, and take off on shelves. That's kind of cool. So Ben's a great guy. He did some work with Extreme Studios back in the day, and you know,
See, that's the
I know
lineage I like.
yeah, he's proud of his babies, so to speak. So yep, he says 5 in a season and 5 in a new season.
So
You're
did
welcome,
the book
Ben.
just
So-
come out like just came out this Wednesday, or has it been out
Yes,
for a while?
it was in or was it last Wednesday? Like last Wednesday it came out, the first issue, and you can get issue 2 now. So you can go, I think, through Red 5 Comics.
Well,
and
I mean,
get
I'm just gonna
or-
look
or-
for it the next time I go to my shop. So
Yeah. See if it's there. If not, you can get it. Definitely, it was in previews. You can get it, on your pull list. So, definitely take a look.
I mean, how does that feel, Jim, to have your work in comic shops? Because I know the first time that Niobe is going to be in shops, that it's still not there yet. We've been delayed, but it's coming. Blew my mind, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It blows my mind, and it's kind of weird, and it's funny. It's like earlier work, so it's kind of like a little, it's a little like, oh, I could have done things so much better, and I know I've learned so much since then, but it's still it's cool. It's cool and it's weird. But I'm more happier for Ben because it's his baby, and I know his passion. He's done a lot of other comics, and I know he's very passionate, and the guy's a hard worker. So shout out and credit to him. So if you guys can go out, pick it up. Sorry, Larry, I didn't want to jump in there, but I saw Ben in the chat.
You're the guest.
I'm old
here.
and I'll
just the
forget.
fly on the wall, man. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I'm old and I'll forget. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, so this one here is from Greg Bo Watson, colored by Dan the Man Overa. This will be our Indiegogo exclusive cover for Origins after we fulfill the current Kickstarter.
Nice.
And then in the early new year, we got Keith Garvey for the cover for Niobe Outbreak #1, which is pretty badass. You know what I'm saying? And then we got some new characters showing up, like Cinder.
I like the attitude. I love the hips on that one.
Right, that's done by Fern Cord of Max DeVille's Merry Machine Gun.
Merry Machine Gun.
We got a Catfish here. She's one of Niobe's buddies. She's gonna be showing up.
Very
We
cool.
have this chick here who's basically the opposite of Cinder. She's all Cinder's like fire and brimstone. She's like crystal and ice, and everything nice. Speaking of Preview Magazine, can't see it very well, but we're in there.
Boom.
Yeah.
Congrats.
But we've just finished all the pages for Niobe Origins #1, like all the line work. Only 3 of them need to be colored, and Dan is working on that right now. Then they all go to Joe Rodriguez for lettering, and then over the holiday, I'll send that off to Comics Wellspring for print, and then hopefully mid-January or so, I have comic books in this house, and I go through that tedious journey of mailing in 300 packages.
Hey, well, that just means you got 300 fans, right? That are.
Well, it was actually 400
support you.
backers, but 1/3 of them were digital. Like it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. How many people just came in for digital?
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, I don't know how bad the paper shortage is. I keep hearing a lot of people having issues with printers and stuff because of paper shortage. And I'm just wondering, like, do you guys think that that's going to be an ongoing issue? Like,
No,
that's going to affect comics and
the bill that was just the bill that was passed a couple weeks ago. That's going to take another, I think, 2-3 weeks to start getting into it. Had, if I remember correctly from the articles I read, had 250 billion in it earmarked towards the ports and the shipping and the container ships that are stuck out there not being able to get in and things like that.
Is that the cause of the paper shortage at this moment?
That's one of the causes. A lot of the stuff just can't. A lot of the stuff just can't come in, or it's stuck in a warehouse, or it's just a log jam, and it's basically at this point they're going to take a whole shitload of money and throw it at the problem.
Right.
And I believe that's going to alleviate some of it. But that's I believe that's going to help. I'm not printing a book or anything right now, so I don't know. I mean, guys who are printing books right now will probably be the best. I
mean, I can tell you this. I called up Comics Wellspring like a week and a half ago because I know I'm coming up for print soon. Gerald, you can throw up the pages. We'll show Jim. But I said, paper shortage. Is this going to be a problem? And they said, no, we're good to go. And I said, okay, because I'm going to be printing in January. Yep, nope, we're fine. So according to them, they're good to go. You know what I mean?
Good. Yeah, because I even went to pick up some Bristol board at a local store, and nothing, man. There was the whole sketchbook aisle was almost bare to nothing. And I was like, ooh, wait a minute. I've never seen this before. And it's a pretty big chain, and they usually have a really good supply of paper. And then I keep hearing about these printers having problems, and I haven't look up the cause of it or anything like that. These pages are gorgeous, Larry.
Done by Juan Antonio Altaveras, colors by Dan the Man Overa.
Okay.
Nice. I like that
Those look
close
great.
up of her face.
Yeah, I love the claw on the face.
That's nice.
That panel right there is brilliant, And then we get into some of the non-actiony stuff that's going on.
More, you know what? Some of that is that's where you really have to get creative and with angling and stuff like that, and moving the camera around to make those scenes just as important as the action scenes. You know what I mean? Even two people talking.
Now, I've probably already given away too much already.
Oh, nice. That's okay. Keep going.
I know.
I can't go past this foot because this foot introduces a new character I haven't told anyone about.
Don't do it.
But
yeah, really nice pages.
I mean, it's 36 pages. It's gonna be a nice thick book. It's gonna be like the size of an old school Marvel annual. And we're almost done. I mean, we raised 24,000 Canadian, which is 20 grand American on it, which is our highest Kickstarter to date. And I aim to beat that with Niobe Outbreak. I aim to go for 30,000 next time.
Nice.
Gold.
And and plus, being published by Antarctic Press, being on store shelves doesn't hurt either, So
Absolutely.
And then that's opened the door for me to, do a little collab with Mr. Ben Dunn and stuff like that.
Awesome.
And I'll tell you, Jim, we had talked before about maybe you doing something,
Yeah.
And that's still a possibility. I mean, I don't know what your time schedule is like. I don't know what your rates are like these days. I don't know, because to do something for Niobe, we do have the deadlines, right?
Yeah, no, I know. And that's the first thing I ask people is like, hey, how far out do I have? And the further out, the better, so that they're not stressed, I'm not stressed, and then I get it done. So yeah, just shoot me a either a PM or.
Well, I mean, the first idea that I proposed to you actually isn't happening, like the Avani one shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to use Avani as a character in the main Niobe and just keep selling Niobe because that's what people know. That's what what I mean.
Right.
I throw something different at them, probably wouldn't do as well. But there's going to be the Niobe Christmas holiday special. It's gonna be That's going to be the side project, you know, and that one might require a different artist depending on how busy Juan is at the time and blah blah blah.
Right,
you know what I mean? So
well, definitely, hit me up, and if I can, like, I won't commit to something that I
yeah,
know that,
yeah. Well, I'm not, you know,
I'm not going to hit. I won't do that. To
yeah,
somebody.
yeah. I mean, we're not making a deal or anything right here,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no,
but
absolutely.
if there is going to be a project that requires like me to bring on a secondary sort of sequential artist, that's going to be the one that it is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You know, anytime, Larry.
Yeah,
as long as you remember who your daddy is, all right?
That's right, man. Who's my daddy?
That must be some inside joke.
It is. It's some inside baseball for sure. Yeah.
I feel so threatened.
How about you, Pete? What are you working on, man? That piece looks cool.
This is just a fun little. I was coming on. I know we like to draw on Comics Cast, so Larry brought me in, so I decided to do a little motorcycle Niobe for fun, shits and giggles. But right now, I have a commission list about 2 miles long that I'm getting done.
That's great.
No, it's great. Cons are back, and that's what's doing it. I'm setting up for my last con of the year in next weekend. It's a retro gaming con, but there's an artist alley, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And then I'm putting together I did it before the pandemic, and this is my big thing, and you guys have heard me talk about it. I produce a show called the Indie Art Show, an actual con. This year we've moved venues. We're going to be at a brewery. It's going to be the first Saturday in September, and it's I bring a lot of underground folks, like non-published people who don't get into cons a lot, stuff like that, like the underground scene. Because look, I sit here and I see Jim and you're published in Niobe and this, that, the other thing. I don't have that many credits, even though I've been doing this a long time. I've been underground. You know, I started painting in school and spray painting things, and the authorities are listening. The statute of limitations on all that
Allegedly.
is over. No. The statute of limitations on all the stuff that I tagged is over. Plus, none of the stuff that I've tagged exists anymore, so I'm good. But I did a lot of that. But it stemmed into me now, painting and working on canvases and stuff like that. So I like to do that show and give it back to that community so they can. It's a great. I mix it up with people that have done shows with a lot of folks where it's like their first show. They don't really do a lot, so they can sit and network with people who know things.
And where does this take place?
We're going to have it this February 5th at the Great South Bay Brewery in Bayshore out here on Long Island. It's going to be a lot of fun. My tables are all booked out, which is awesome. I already talked to the venue. The venue can't wait. It's a 21 and over event because it is a brewery, and but it's a free admission thing. I don't do it to make a buck. The money I spend the money on two things: marketing and the cosplay contest. Nice. Okay, because I bring people, and the best part about it, and this is why I love having the cosplay contest. You get the cosplay. I used to have it at a bar. It was a dive bar we used to have it at, and it did really well. But what's really cool and I do it, it's from 1 to 8, so on a Saturday usually. So on a Saturday afternoon, you get your bar regulars. Right. And now on any given normal Saturday, except for the one Saturday when Pete's show comes to town. And then, Bob the bar regular is drinking a beer next to, Superman, Spider-Man. And it's a really interesting juxtaposition. It's a lot of fun. And it's a good time for everybody. And, that's the plan. And then it's already booking shows. Again, working on some sequentials for... I actually just finished them. You saw I had them up before. Waiting to hear back from David. It's his birthday day. Happy birthday, David Summy. For Naked Cannibal Campers 2. And... I'm probably bringing my 2 books back. Hopefully for New York Comic Con next year. And... that's The Adventures of Jimmy Friday, and a satire piece that writer Jay Hewer and I put together from a mashup that I'd done 8 years ago called Attack on Cookie. I mashed up Attack on Titan with Cookie Monster. So if you've ever seen the opening poster where you see the shots from Eren Yeager's back and the city's on fire and the Colossal Titan is over the wall peeking over, I took out the Colossal Titan and I turned it into Cookie Monster, and I turned all the flaming buildings into boxes of Oreos and milk. Because if anybody's seen the first episode of Attack on Titan, it's rough. It's like oh my god. Like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, it's a real gut punch. So I wanted to soften that up, and I love doing mashups. I love that's my most popular mashup that I've done. But my second most popular is I mix Grand Theft Auto with SpongeBob. I mix Grand Theft Auto with Scooby Doo, and I mix Grand Theft Auto with the Disney characters. I turned the Disney characters into soccer hooligans. I turned the Scooby Doo and the gang into a drug cartel, and I turned SpongeBob into just violence. Just they all have guns and there's plant. It's not seaweed that they're smoking. All sorts of stuff. So my buddy Jay had seen the print, and he's like, "Hey, that's really cool. Would you like it? Could I write a short story like to companion that?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, go for it." Weeks go by. He comes back. He's like, I wrote a comic book." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I read the comic book, and it's a satire, and it's completely. Basically, we took both properties, mashed them together, and created a third property where we live in this world, kind of like the Attack on Titan world, where they all live inside these walls, but because they've become their dependence on fossil fuels, and most importantly, sesame seed fuel, Muppets, sesame, you get, so it goes on from there, and it's a complete social kind of thing. We're talking about fossil fuels and things like that, but we're using Muppets as monsters and humans as a dying breed of species to defend the world against these monsters and to figure out another fuel source. So I'm like, this is never going to work, but let me draw it. So I started drawing it. It's when I stopped doing sequentials like 5 years ago, because I looked at my stuff and it sucked. So I've gotten better after taking some classes and things. But what was funny was I did print a sample. I did a 2-page spread and the front page plus a sketchbook kind of thing. I did it for New York Comic Con one year, just to have like a sample. Hey, this is coming soon from Fat Guy Inc. And the printer, and I didn't use Comics Wellspring because I didn't know they existed. I used Kablam, and they're phenomenal because they're very mom and pop. So I emailed them and they, hey, let me know if this doesn't, because I know Sesame Street, Attack on Titan. Like, no, you did the Weird Al thing with this. I'm like, excuse me? You took, like, how Weird Al Yankovic did Eat It and all those parody songs of Michael Jackson songs. What I didn't know, and Kablam actually explained it to me, Michael Jackson had been suing Weird Al for decades over that, but never gone to court because satire is protected. You can satire something. Saturday Night Live, Mad Magazine. It's fine. You're making your parody. It's a satire. It's completely fine. It's freedom, So I was like, so you created a parody satire of Attack on Titan and the Muppets, and you created a whole different story. And I'm like, wow, good job, Jim. So I'm like, all right, shit. So that's one of the books. Even if it's just a one shot, it's one of the books that I'm going to redraw. So that's what I'm doing, and my pens and pencils are still ready for anybody who needs them. Any funny books or serious books or whatever books you need, or wherever you need work done, I'm willing to jump in, look at my stuff, and tell me what you need me to do. And I'll be at a con near you. And I do have a bucket list of cons to get back to. So
yeah, I haven't done a show since pre-COVID.
Well,
so I want to pick up shows next year, and I'm like, man, I've got so much work. Like doing some prints, and my banner is old. Like it's one of those huge obnoxious banners.
I have a great place to get banners because I'm in the process of doing that too, getting new stuff. So I can help you out with that. Yeah, I can help you out with that. I have I have 2 great companies for prints. One of them I have no problem. I'll give them both a shout out. I don't know, Printivity has been so good to me, and Cat Print has also been so good to me with holographics prints and stuff. Because
I have a local printer that's really good to me, so I'm not worried about the print side. It's like creating the content for the prints.
Fair.
Really,
that's fair.
That's really where my challenge is, and for another banner and stuff like that. Because and I like the banner that I have. It's huge. But the art is old. It's like I have Nightcrawler ripping off Mega Man's arm.
that's
on my
great.
banner. So it's like, I never did.
Why do we all do Mega Man mashups? I have a Mega Man piece that I did that's good. I'm printing out for this show coming up with this video game. I turned Mega Man into the Punisher,
Mm.
which was fun. Like, dude, Mega Man fans love it. They eat it up.
Yep.
So it's
Oh, I
it's
used to
great.
get people come to my table and they're like, that would never happen. Nightcrawler couldn't take Mega Man or
Right. Yep.
vice versa. Oh no, Nightcrawler's whipping his butt. Like,
But that's
hey, I
that's
just
my
drew a
favorite part of
picture.
it. But that's great. But when a piece that you make does that, I tell people all the time, for me to feel successful, for a piece, for something that I create to feel successful, I need to elicit a reaction. I don't care what the reaction is. Like, you can love it and fawn all over it. Obviously, the best reaction is if you buy it, but or even if you turn around and go, "Oh my God, why did you do this? Is terrible. How could you do that? Ew!" Like, if they could throw rocks at my art, I'd be happy because it's a success. You know what I mean? I mean, I got a reaction out of you. If somebody just looks at my stuff and feels nothing, I failed. That's the way I look at it. Even with the comic book anime type stuff that I do. So, I want to elicit a reaction, some kind of reaction. Like there's a mashup I have. I did a cartoony Deadpool with SpongeBob on his shoulders, and they're basically, you can see with the bubbles and everything, they're underwater, but they're at underwater Disneyland. And people are like, why would you do that? I'm like, wouldn't you want to see a 7-minute cartoon of SpongeBob and Deadpool at underwater Disneyland? And people. And everyone's, oh my God, yes, oh, that'd be so much funny. And then you get the account, oh, how much did you smoke? How high were you when you made that? I'm like, that's not important. There's kids here. Like, it's not important, but very. Whatever. It's just, I want to get a reaction. I have some paintings that do that too. Like, I did a painting, and I have, and I'm not getting weird, and if it gets weird, stop me, whatever. But I did a couple. Right when in the middle of it, I did an 11x17 ink wash drawing of the American flag in color, but kind of like muted red, white, and blue, with Colin Kaepernick in black and white kneeling in front of it. I didn't tell anybody my opinion of this situation one way or the other, but I just put the piece out there. And it got a really strong reaction both ways, obviously. And I was people were like, well, what's your opinion? I'm like, look at the piece and tell me. But as an artist, that's what I wanted. I didn't want to tell you. It's like the Chris Claremont X-Men thing. I don't want to tell you what my politics are, or I don't want to tell you what to think. I want you to look at what I'm doing and think for yourself. And I try to bring that even into comic book type stuff and things like that. I want you to, what's he doing here? What's he thinking? What's wrong with him? Or, whoa, that's so cool. I have no problem with you asking what's wrong with me, because I ask myself that question all the time.
What's wrong with you? What are you talking about?
What the hell is wrong with me? What are you doing?
How about you, Larry? You have any plans for shows for next year? Or?
No, there's not much going on. And the one show I was at, they banned me from. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, you were at New York Comic Con this year, technically.
Yeah.
I took Niobe, Mary Machine Gun, 2 issues of 47 Furious Tales. I actually had Mojo with me too. I had spoken to Raj. I had a couple issues of Mojo, and I was like, guys, give me a stack of books. I brought Mary Machine Gun to Neo Tokyo. I was like, guys, all my buddies, guys, give me some books. I'll put them on the table at New York Comic Con, and I'll sling some books for you at New York Comic Con. Since you guys can't be there, let me get your shit there. I think that's the least I can do for all my buddies. Because that's supposedly, I've heard that's what it's all about.
Shows are good. They're tough. It's you have to balance out what you want out of the show versus what you may get out of the show. They could be costly, with travel and expenses and everything like that. So you really gotta plan things out, I think.
I'm going to use someone that the three of us are very familiar with, and he taught me a system, the ratio. Our buddy Bun Leung.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'm so first off, Bun and I come from the same hometown, and I've been doing cons with him around, and I not only do I consider him a friend, but I consider and he's an inspiration. But I consider him a little bit of a mentor, and I definitely pick his brain. You know, how do you do? Because like you said in the comments before, he travels so much, and they split the team too.
Yep.
Because you could go and see his stuff at 2 different shows at the same time usually.
Yep.
And like they're traveling. He's in Emerald City right now, murdering things. So I'm like, he's just so good. And I'm like, Bun, you do so many shows. How do you pick and choose? And then it's exactly what you said. You have to decide how much are you going to spend on travel, how much are you going to spend on lodging, how much are you going to eat? Are you going to bring your own food? What's the table fee? What's this? How much inventory do you have? I mean, I hate calling artwork inventory, but it is what it is. But all those things factor into it. And I know I when I was saying I did 45 shows the year before COVID and everything, a lot of them were small where I didn't have to. First off, I slept in my own bed, or I only had to drive. I was in Philly, so I only had to drive a couple hours.
Right.
I'll do a 1-day show and drive to Philly, whatever. Stuff like that. It's all factoring in. Like, it'd be impossible for me to go to Emerald City this year if I had gotten in. It'd be so hard. I mean, I didn't travel out of state at all this year, actually, because, COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
But next year, you put that in, you start factoring. Okay, I have shows that I'm paying for now, shows that I did now that I'm paying for next year. And that's the other thing. You want to make sure you're paying. You want to try to get the show that you're doing now to pay for the next one, right? You put that ratio in. I know I'm going. There's a show. Actually, I have the flyer right here. Or do I? I do. There's a Wicked Comic Con done by the original team that did Boston Comic Con. Signed up for that. Going to do that. WinterCon out here in Queens, in New York, by the casino. Going to be doing that. And just you factor them in. I can, people are like, well, the hotel's so expensive in Boston. I'm like, that's why I'm not staying in Boston. I'm staying in Massachusetts, but not in Boston.
You definitely have to plan out.
Yep.
Plan out what shows you're going to do, and obviously you learn from year to year which shows that you're successful at, and which are art heavy, which are not so art heavy. I love Baltimore Comic Con.
Yep,
my favorite, hands down. Very art driven.
Yep.
So if you're an artist, you get a lot of commissions there. At least I found I got a lot of commissions.
I did. Yep, I did.
It's people really want art up until like the last minute of the show sometimes.
I had a girl come back 3 times.
Yeah, and they have like a yearbook that they do every year, which I love being a part of. That's a lot of fun. They like pick a theme, so you get to work on some interesting things, and some fun things. They did Mouse Guard one year, just a bunch of different things. Michael Warango, they did a dedication to him. So we got to do, the book that they did. I can't think of it. It's flying out of my head right now. But yeah, they got a lot of other reasons to go to that show, which I really like.
Fantastic.
Telos.
Definitely one of my favorite shows.
Wasn't it called Telos? Or
Telos,
Telos
thank you.
or Telos?
Thank you.
Telos,
Yeah, Telos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and what you do is you get to incorporate your original character with whatever the theme is. So it's cool. So, I actually, for Telos, I got to do Telos. And there was a guy who had a cool original character, and I ended up, they allowed me to use his character in with the Telos theme, so that worked out really well. So he got to, have his character in the yearbook, which is great. And what the yearbook does, people take it around, they buy it. There's an auction of the original art at the end, and they take it around, they get signatures from all the artists, so it drives business to your table. Sometimes it just drives people for signatures, which, hey, it's okay, but at least you get eyes on your table. So they really plan out that show. I really like Baltimore Comic Con.
Yeah, they do a lot of good details at Baltimore Comic Con. A lot.
Yep. So,
and
I know you guys were talking about cosplay and stuff like that. The only negative side that I ever had with cosplay is when people aren't just considerate enough. They'll stop in front of your booth and they'll chat and they'll take pictures and stuff. And the shows, I think, should have areas for cosplayers to take pictures.
Most do.
And a lot of shows have empty corners or spaces and
Yep.
stuff that they could just like block off and say, hey, you want to get a picture with fans or cosplay, go here. You know what I mean? So it doesn't interrupt the flow of traffic and stuff like that. That's really the only negative side. Like, I love seeing all the costumes and stuff. I think it's fantastic. Like, you see some really original, amazing cosplays when you go to shows.
A lot of the anime shows have dedicated places
Right. See, that's good.
where you can go and like away from like say the dealer's room or artist alley or something like that.
Right.
So you can go and take your pictures.
Yeah. That was the only negative side I ever had, with cosplay. Whether they, it was always a debate. Well, they're not, doing great. No, they're part of the experience. So, try to include them and make use of it. And people want to take pictures with characters, even if, obviously it's not Gal Gadot you may be taking a picture with, but
fair.
Hey, you're getting a picture with Wonder Woman. Some young kid may not even know the difference, and just wants a picture with Wonder Woman. So, that
That's
experience, it just should be thought out. That's all. In my limited opinion.
Look, I've been to shows like where it's not at all, and I've been to shows where it's like Katsucon and stuff like that, where it's almost everything. People bring their A++ game to it, and it's absolutely what you just said. Everybody finds their place and their spot for everything, and it works out really well. If most of the time. But the table thing is funny. You got me. That is, I as much as I defend it and everything, that's almost a human like, come on, man, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like really, because there's that, and then we actually had a kid 3 years ago, before the pandemic, literally sit down and like start getting comfortable in front of our table, to the point where my partner's like, "Yo, bro, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Oh, I can't sit here? No, you can't. What are you doing?"
Well, I have to say that cons are not really the best place to find people that know about social graces. It's sort of like,
that's true, and that's
true.
the other thing though.
Fair enough.
You do get a lot of folks that are a little awkward and stuff like that. So,
well,
it's rough.
I'm not knocking it because they're geeks and nerds just like me. But I'm just saying that sometimes they're just not just aware. You just have to be nice and just sort of say, hey.
Yeah,
I mean, true, it could be a person not in cosplay in front of your table having the conversation, but
that bothers the shit out of me.
But when it's a cosplayer with like this huge costume on that's blocking your entire table, and you're there,
It's
I hate to say it, you do want to make money because you got expenses to cover. Like it or not, you got expenses to try to cover. So you're an hour more conversation. That's so good.
See, I'm okay with the stranger doing that because I can tell them, hey, buddy, buy something or pass it along because you're in front of my stuff. Like, come on now. I can do that. I have no problem with that. The worst for me is when it's somebody or another artist, maybe an artist that's not at the show, that's just coming to visit and wants to come and like be social and shoot the shit with you a little bit. Oh, how's the wife and kids? Blah blah blah. Great. Yeah, I'm at work right now. This is my
job.
This is my job. Like, text me. You're standing in front of people are walking past. Go away. There's that, and then my absolute favorite, and people have known to not ask me if I'm with my partner. People know to ask him instead of me. Oh, could you hold my stuff back there? No. Okay, first off, the banner says Fat Guy Inc. and there's 2 of us. Like, what are you thinking? Do you think I have room I barely have room for my sandwich. I don't have room for you and your stuff.
Yep, it happens.
The only two that get a pass are my sister and his girlfriend. So.
Yeah, hey, I just bought this huge statue. You mind stashing that back until the end of the show for me?
Yeah, yes, I do. Do you mind me breaking it?
You get to say, well, it becomes mine if you leave it here.
But it does happen.
It does.
Uh-huh.
It does happen. And it's funny. It's just. I mean, it is funny, and it makes for right now for a great story. But it's kind of shocking when it happens.
That and setup and breakdown are always like.
Well, I'm a machine. I'm a machine at that.
Yeah, by the time we were like rocking it, we were good at like breaking up and setting up and breaking down. You get to know you get to learn what works and what doesn't work, and what you think you need at a show isn't what you need at a show.
Yeah. I've gone to the point where now it's I've compartmentalized for the two different styles. For the style of show, I have everything in totes that latch together, bungee cord, boom. And I've gotten to the point where, okay, how am I traveling? Am I driving myself, or do I have to? Because for I was doing 30 to 40 shows a year for 2 years with no vehicle. I was taking trains or jumping in with people. So I got it to the point where I could put my whole con setup into a big suitcase, one of those big rollers.
Yep,
that's pretty impressive.
Bro, I was like traveling like the world like that. It was crazy, and but it worked. I went to Chicago like that. I went to Boston like that. I went to Texas like that. It's a hustle, but you learn from it. You
do,
which is really cool, and it also taught me. If I am traveling, hey, who by me or who on my way to the show can we pick up? Carpool, save some money, and cram 7 people in a hotel like we did in Baltimore, because we did that in Baltimore, and it was great.
And in some cases, you learn who snores the loudest.
That's me.
I'm not saying that I have a champion belt for that, but maybe I do and maybe I don't.
That's me. One of the.
But you guys can feel free to ask Ryan G. Brown about that, and he will tell you all the details.
That's definitely me. So, and I'm not ashamed about that. I don't care. I don't, but it's great. It's absolutely great. But then you get into your shower routine and all that stuff. But it does or you learn where the cheaper hotels are. Like CT. Now my buddy Jay is from Brooklyn. I'm from Brentwood, which is kind of a little bit of the hood as well out here in Long Island. So when we went to C2E2 last year, the McCormick Hotel is very, very nice, and there's a price for that. So we got a hotel kind of outside of there. and my other friend there was 4 of us. The third guy was from Brooklyn originally. He was like, okay, cool, good place, good price, awesome, love it. Our fourth guy was more from the burbs, and hey, what's with this hotel? You paid $50, right? Yeah, for all 4 days, right? Yeah. Shut up and get in the room.
You should write a book.
You also learn which ones are murder hotels.
Yeah, you absolutely do. You absolutely do, and you learn that you learn that the reviews are nonsense.
Yes.
I did a show in Atlantic City. We go to Atlantic City twice, and we stay just outside of Atlantic City. We found a $50 a night hotel. Okay, 3 of us stayed in that hotel. So we $50 for a hotel for 3 days. That's great. The reviews said, "Oh my God, it's so loud. It's terrible. All you hear are cars and people." I'm like, "Well, I'm only going to be in there for like 6 hours to sleep. Then I'm going to the con, so I don't care. Whatever." It was on a street, like on a highway, and people were complaining about that. So don't listen to the reviews all the time. So
I
had to step over the human body to get to my room. I look for those type of reviews.
That's the kind of review you look for, right?
Yeah.
I was in a fraternity in college. No big deal.
All right. Well, I hate to say it, but we've been on for like 3 hours now, just over 3 hours and 3 minutes. So I'm gonna I guess solo everybody out here for a second. We can just sort of wrap up the show. So Pete, let's start with you. I'm gonna put you up here, and you can just
cool.
I don't know, say whatever you want to say. It's just up to you.
Well, I'll be nice because I don't want to get the message from Joe. So, little Niobe fan art that I'm working on, kind of.
Love it, brother. Love it, brother.
Gonna do a few more little things here and there that I want to do, but I got some stuff going on. folks, like I said before, first off, thanks to Gerald. Thanks for having me. Jim, I'm glad you came in.
Oh.
Larry, thank you so much, as always, for letting me know, hey, come in. There's a spot. Come hang out. So I'm very happy. Always happy to be on Comics Cast. Folks, if you know me or you don't know me, we're going to cover up the cheeks a little bit. My name is Pete Vasquez. I'm a freelance artist. If you need anything done, if you're out there and you got a book or you got a property and you need an inker, an artist, I can dabble in colors, either digital, traditional, whatever you need, sequentials. I got you. I can help you out. And if you're at a con, if you're at a convention, or if you know, I can do it all. My commission list.
Yeah,
My
cut out
commission-
there, Pete.
In my Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi screwy. My commission list is always open. I'm always drawing stuff for people, so don't you worry about that. And the easiest way to find me is right here. PEAT11717. That's on Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. And what makes it even better for you, the content is different on each one of those. On Facebook, you're going to get more of a personal, hey, how you doing? Instagram is where you find all the artwork and all the shows and all the fun stuff like that. And Twitch is where you can find me once or twice a week actually drawing with people live and having a good time and just, cooling out.
Man,
And of
you
course,
came
I'm one half.
prepared.
I always have one of these for one. I always have one. This is my new business card.
Yeah, that looks great and love the art. Yeah, just thank you for being here. That's a
Thank
great
you. I
pitch.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Alrighty, so let's get Larry in here. Larry, you want to do your little pitch here? Because I know that you're the author and the creator here, so I'll let you go.
Well, there's not much to pitch. I mean, it's Niobe
Uh-huh.
Comic on all the social media. That's where we can be found. Exciting comics, coming to the shelf, I believe, next week. So look for that. Exciting Comics 17 to 20. We'll have Niobe in it. You can get Niobe for $5. You don't have to pay the premium that you would on a Kickstarter or the extra shipping. $5, little man. Put that book in my hand. And then if you are a backer of mine, though, keep your eyes out, because in January, early February, we'll be shipping out books.
So excited.
Yeah,
all I
that
got.
artwork you showed tonight was phenomenal. I can't wait to
really
see
nice.
Yeah, far more talented people than me, for sure.
that. Hey, well, you're like you're the nexus point. You get all those great, talented people behind your project, and that's what it's all about. Niobe is just a great comic. Enjoy the artwork of that tremendously. So Jim, I'm gonna have you up there. Do you want me to solo your? Let's add to the stream your camera here.
Hi.
Look at that.
I can't follow those two acts, man.
I'm throwing that
Those
right
two
out.
guys are great. I got nothing for you.
You follow up with this artwork. That's what it is.
Hi.
Look at that.
Hi, my name is Jim O'Reilly, and I like long walks on the beach. Oh wait, wrong. Thing.
Long locks of hair on.
You just made me want to swipe right.
Smart move. There's a smart man right there, and that's why you guys should follow Pete. He knows when to swipe right. No, just feel free to follow me on all social media under my name, Jim O'Reilly. Sometimes with the apostrophe, sometimes without. I am currently working on my own IP, and I have a couple of other things in the works at the moment. So yeah, just if you want to follow along for the art adventure, see some sometimes halfway looking art, feel free. And yeah, that's all I got for you right now. I don't have a fancy business card, Pete. I have an
Sorry.
old one.
Okay, look, let me explain something to you. I get 4 of these per each sheet of paper for 10 cents a sheet. Okay, I was spending so much money on regular business cards. I save the business cards for the people I want to hand them to when we're doing business. These are for everybody. You can have these. You can write my phone number on the back. You can write some girl's phone number on the back. You can write some guy's phone number on the back. These are for the everyman. I believe in the least common denominator.
I'm also available for commissions on limited basis. Usually it's time constraints, and occasionally I do some sculpting. I don't know if you can
Look at that.
make that
Let
larger.
me solo that out so we can get that
Yeah, go
bigger.
ahead.
1 second. Hold on. Yes, look at this.
And
I have to say that your sculpting skills of
That's
every
badass.
statue you do looks
Thanks.
great.
This is
Yeah.
this is Tragedy. I did a cover
Yep.
for
Phil Russert.
Phil Russert's tragedy book, so I figured, let me try to sculpt this. Still not finished because I got details to put in, but having fun.
looks
with,
great.
She looks
learning the
great.
scope.
She looks great.
And then in the back you can see some other ones. But yeah, a lot of work, a lot of fun. But yeah, if you're interested in a commission, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll try to fit you in sometime within the next 5 years. No, I mean, when I can get you done, I can get you done.
We'll see you in 2099.
2099.
Yeah,
I'll be drawing the
yeah,
same
it'll-
picture.
All righty, so let me I guess I'll just show my picture real quick here. This is Jinx
Awesome.
from Arcane. If you guys haven't seen the animated show, it is next level, and it's so awesome.
yes,
I
it
thought the animation for Into the Spider-Verse, and it's still good. Into the Spider-Verse
Yeah.
is awesome, but yeah, what they did with storytelling, with animation, with just I really wanted to geek out and ask you guys about this too, but I drew Arcane. We'll have to save that for the next freestyle. We'll talk about Arcane.
Amazing.
But yeah,
Somebody said it best. They said you could stop it at any frame in that animation, and you have a beautiful 3D rendered piece, like looking in front of you. And it's true. It is so true. I don't remember who said that, but it's so true. Really good.
It is the color, the lighting for an animated show is just incredible. They really did a great job with character development and just letting you know it's kind of like steampunk Game of Thrones. Everybody's out for their own agenda type things, but it's really great. I had to do a version of Jinx because she's just a great character. She's kind of like steampunk Harley Quinn. Kind of has that weird like madness about her, but yeah, tragic character. But anyway, I'm going to get rid of this. Let me remove that. So thank you guys. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Pete. Thanks to all of the other artists. And we had Frankie, we had Sean, we had Roy, everybody that was in the comment section. Thank you so much for being there as well. Thanks to Rick. Thanks to Vic. We're gonna do another comics cast, Let It Out on Sunday with my guest David Whalen, and I think Joe is going to Emerald City Comic Con tomorrow.
Yep, that's going on right now. Yeah, that's out this weekend.
Yeah, so he's out in Washington State, so he's going to be checking that out. Maybe we'll get some live feeds from there. I have no idea. It's going to be kind of like, play it by ear. We'll see what happens. But I want to thank you guys. You guys stuck it out with me to the late hours.
Thanks for having me.
It's 1:42, and we had representation from Canada from Larry. So thank you so much for being here and sharing that Niobe love. So
yeah, no
that
problem,
being said, yeah, it's so awesome. I want to thank you guys, and we'll have you guys on another Friday Freestyle. So that being said, let me end the broadcast, and we're out. I'll catch you guys later.
Thank you so much, man.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Have a
Bye.
night. Thank you.
Everybody.